Hello, all you beautiful people, and welcome back to the NECC. I am your host, Jaron Bell, this evening, and of course, I know I'm in Kansas and winter is coming, and it's got a pretty chilly outside. But my main man, it gets even colder in this place because Connor Breeze is in the building below me. What is up, my guy?
Not much. Living the dream. Another great day for Overwatch.
That's what I'm talking about. Speaking of Overwatch, Connor, we bring people a match in the Challengers division here at the NECC as Northern Essex Community College faces off against Howard Community College. Northern Essex coming in here at 4-0, undefeated in the Challengers division in this season, and Howard Community College had some really strong showings at 2-1. Connor, it's going to be an interesting matchup to say the least.
Oh, for sure. And then they got some great maps coming up tonight here as well. You know, you're looking at Dorado for our first map. That's going to be a fantastic map to really put to the test what these players are good at.
Absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, we want to remind you that we have esports action 5 days a week here live at the NECC. Of course, Madden Mondays. Then on Tuesday nights, you have Valorant. Of course, you can catch myself and Connor Breeze right here on Overwatch Wednesdays. Thursday night, we have League of Legends. And Friday night on Friday Night Live, we have Rocket League action here at the NECC. And I tell you what, as we get ready to go into week 6 right here in the Overwatch division, I mean, Connor, it's been a crazy run to get ready for the playoffs here in just a few short weeks.
You know, all these teams are working really hard. They're putting a lot of hours in the off time, you know, practicing, working together on their different compositions, on their strats. And, you know, it's a beautiful thing to see with these teams coming together and working so well together and really putting in action what they've been working on all this time.
Absolutely. And we are able to bring you this action because of our partners. Huge thank you to our friends at Helix Esports. We have some really cool announcements coming with them very soon. We thank them for all they do behind the scenes to allow us to do what we do. And of course, our linear TV partner, our friends at ESTV, now available on Samsung TV Plus, the Roku channel, Vizio, plenty of other platforms, and they bring esports action from around the globe 24/7 on their platform. Again, that's ESTV, where you can check out some great esports action. And of course, our newest partner, we could not be more happy to have them. How about HyperX? Some of the best gear in gaming comes to the NECC. I know I've got my headset on. Connor, we can't wait to get you yours. And I tell you what, man, we have some exciting things going on here at the NECC right now.
Oh, for sure. There's a lot of hard work being put in by the people here. You know, it's something I get to see a little bit of on the back end, and it's some incredible things are coming into play here.
Absolutely, absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to remind you that tonight you will see a best of 3 series between Northern Essex Community College and Howard Community College. It is going to be a fantastic matchup. For those, now, Connor, we might have some people in the chat tonight that are brand new to esports and Overwatch. They may be just here to support one of these respective universities. What can they see as we get ready to look at the streets of Dorado?
Overwatch is a very, very hectic game. You know, there's a lot of different things moving at all times, a lot of different moving pieces, but it's very team-oriented. So every single team has a different combination of tanks, DPS, and healers. And basically what that means is they're different positions, just like in any other sport. And there's going to be a lot of different things that each of these characters do. And you'll see lots and lots of clashes and lots of explosions and other things on your screen tonight. And we will do our best to try to keep you up with the action.
Absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, Northern Essex University will be in the blue, and it looks like they will bring out Northern Essex Community College will be in the blue. Looks like they're going to run that Rhine Zarya. They have a Farah and a Genji, and also, man, what a composition. They're going to be in that fight for sure. What are you seeing from the Howard Community College side?
Howard, it looks like, has another dive composition, but with an Ana for their one of their main supports. It looks like a Winston Diva for those quick dives, matched with a Sombra and Genji to dive with them. Moira able to dive, but not onto high ground as easily, and Ana for those long distance heals. It'll be interesting to see how they handle with this first high ground point here, especially with the pharmacy. It looks like Genji poking, Farah coming from the top right, trying to rain down some missiles onto Howard here. Diva eating a couple of the missiles. Ana doing a good job keeping their main tank open without being able to shield from it. They don't have much to deal with the pharmacy as of right now, so they're really just ignoring it and trying to get payload pushed forward. It looks like NECC dropping to the low ground, giving up high ground, trying to match Howard at the bottom through doorway, preventing payload from moving any further under bridge. It looks like Farah has been hacked, brought to the ground. Ana and Moira go down for Howard. Both their main healers are down, so they cannot get any heals for the rest of their team. Sombra doing a really good job of hacking Genji there. 3-3 right now. Farah, Mercy, and Reinhardt left for NECC. Howard has Moira coming back from spawn. It looks like they're going to be 5v4 with that longer walk back for the NECC. Howard pushing forward here. Lots of poking, not a lot going on right now other than big pokes. Reinhardt getting onto the payload. Winston diving the back line with Mercy. Diva going with him. Just getting some poke damage in. Ana with the sleep onto the Diva. Diva gets demeched there. Genji dives in. Farah, huge barrage, and then countered by the Blade. Blade going after the supports here. Cannot get the Ana. Goes down before he can pick a support. Genji for NECC goes down, though. Ana goes down before she can get her nade off. Farah takes down Diva finally. It looks like NECC is going to hold this point. Howard's backing off now.
And what a impressive point. They maybe might have tried to dive a little bit late around that first corner, but it looked like they had all the momentum pushing that first checkpoint. But then for Northern Essex, they were able to win that team fight. And now let's see if Howard can reply here.
I think the Sombra hack on to the Farah was a great play there. That pharmacy is going to be really tough to deal with. Blade coming out, picks the Soldier, picks the Winston. 2 down on Howard now. NECC gets a third one and a fourth with that Genji Blade. It looks like Howard's going to have to regroup for this one. Bubble to save the Genji. Big heals from Ana there. Ana doing her job very well. Genji doing a good job getting his Blade out there. Although it does not look like they nanoed him. That is a nanoless Blade that did that much damage. That is a scary thing to see. Now that nano can be combined with a Reinhardt swinging into the enemy team or something else like a barrage. You know, it'll be interesting to see what they combo that ult with. But it looks like Howard's now coming back, trying to take high ground now. But only the tank. Soldier just doing some general shield damage. It looks like Mercy has ulted as well as Farah. They pick the Sombra. Shatter gets the Winston, but no one else because of the bubble. Moira Coalesce comes out now, just getting some basic heals and damage onto the other team. Winston primals, but gets grabbed by Zarya. He's nanoed as well, though. He is still alive. Bomb coming out now. 3 go down. Huge bomb. I hear another shatter. It looks like NECC's in a bad way now. Howard doing lots and lots of damage. Zarya has been hacked and goes down now. It looks like Howard is going to take control at this point now. NECC might have one last chance to get a touch in here, but if not, it is first point to Howard, and they'll be able to get more time on the clock and push to point number 2.
Oh, and Connor, these team fights have just been swinging back and forth and back and forth. What do you think that Howard is doing to be able to push this forward?
You know, they're taking their momentum and they're really making sure to get back together with each other before pushing forward again, rather than just staggering in one at a time. Because 1v6 is much harder than a 6v6. Now, it looks like Farah tried to touch there, but couldn't get there in time and got staggered out, like I was talking, with the staggering, with 1v6 being a very difficult thing to deal with. So Farah's now back from spawn now, and it looks like Reinhardt's a bit separated from his team for the NECC, now trying to get back. Bubble comes out from Zarya. Micro missiles come out, and there's a huge hack from Howard, and then here comes a Soldier ultimate as well, being damage boosted by the Mercy. Getting good damage in. That's a 5-piece. Reinhardt trying to get out there. That is a huge nano visor, or not nano visor, that's just a huge visor, period. And they chase down the Reinhardt, staggering him out, so they won't have a main tank for this next interaction. It looks like they'll have to fight without him. They're coming back to payload now, trying to get as many people on cart to push it forward as they can to move it faster.
And ladies and gentlemen, as you see that timeline in the middle of the screen, they're working their way along, trying to get to that next checkpoint. But we have a massive team fight, massive shatter on the payload, and Blade comes out. What a play.
Blade shatter. Genji finally goes down, but not before picking both the supports and Cozy. D.Va finally backing out, but that shatter blade combination re-won them that team fight, kept them from getting the point, really saved NECC there. Great play by them.
And not a lot of time left on that before that next objective. That's a massive, massive play to at least stall and work this time down, as there's only a minute left in this round.
It looks like Howard's going to flank the right side instead of going up main straight here. NECC now giving up the high ground. Sombra might be looking for a hack on that soldier, but drops down instead. Mercy goes down, but trades for Cozy. Moira Coalescence comes out now. Winston dives the soldier on the high ground, but soldier sprints away. Rez onto Cozy. Another soldier back in play. Reinhardt swinging against the Winston. Winston diving away, trying to get back onto the Ana, take out the supports. Ana, big sleep there, and the grab by the Zarya. You know, tanks go down. Mercy goes down. Winston goes down. Big shatter. D.Va and Soldier both shattered. Still up for now. Contesting point. 10 seconds left on the clock. Soldier ults, but blocked by the Reinhardt shield. Doing everything they can to get back to this point. Moira needs to touch here. Sombra gets on point. Mercy goes down. Moira fades onto the back end of point. Winston primals, but gets slept, re-woken up by the Reinhardt. They are contesting for overtime here. It does not look like anyone from Howard is close enough to get that touch. What a great end to that round.
And it looked, Connor, it looked a little bit like this Howard team got a little extended, as the Winston did dive the soldier, and I do understand that play, but followed it down, got out of position to chase the Ana, gets grabbed, and it loses them the team fight. Man, what a play by Northern Essex, able to win that team fight at the end to stall before that second point.
Yeah, I think the problem they're having right now on Howard is they are diving, and they're diving the right people on the other team, but they are having trouble doing it as a cohesive unit. They're having trouble actually getting those picks on the Ana. Ana's got a lot of tech to keep her alive. She's got a sleep dart, so if one person dives her alone, she can sleep them and walk away scot-free with no damage. She also has a bionade for herself. Takes away healing from whoever gets hit by it on the other team, as well as heals herself. She can be very, very dangerous once you start diving on her. If you don't dive with plenty of people, she will be a handful, to say the least.
And it looks like Howard is going to change it up. They're not going to run with that dive composition. They're going to bring out the Ryan Zarya as they have attack here, and it's going to be impressive. What do you think Northern Essex can do here, as it looks like they might go dive with Winston and Tracer?
You know, it does look like they have an interesting composition right now. They have a Baptiste, which is more of a bunker support, but they also have an Ashe and a Zarya. Ashe is more that long range that can kind of help with the dive, but Zarya, you know, with only having a bubble, is not as effective as a D.Va in this situation. So I'll be interested to see, you know, how they handle these kind of mid-range engagements here with these character choices. Winston, Lucio pushing up on the top right. Reinhardt just poking, giving their team some room to build some ultimates. Gets a fire strike in on the Winston. Lucio going to the back line, not quite sure what he's doing, but Winston dives in on 6. Lucio goes down. Winston bubbled, saved his life, and the immortality comes out from Baptiste, saving him. Winston going back in again, getting the pick on the Junkrat, but loses to the Soldier. Soldier picks the Winston. Ashe up top, pushing them back off high ground onto low ground onto the objective. They're a little split here. Zarya looks fairly highly charged. Looks like Tracer's poking from bridge. It looks like NECC's backing off here a little bit. Winston now back to the fight. Both Zaryas have used their bubbles here. Reinhardt's shield goes down. And now Winston's in the backline again, but his team is not with him. Winston goes down. Reinhardt goes down as well, though. Main tanks trade. NECC is pushing forward very aggressively. Howard loses their Zarya. It looks like Howard's backed off into the back right corner. Big bomb onto the supports by Tracer. Ana goes down, and then Tracer finishes both Junkrat and Soldier. Great plays by Freaky J. Dynamite comes out, finishes off Moira, and NECC is going to take that first point with 5 minutes left to push it to that second point.
Yeah, and NECC, again, a non-conventional lineup that they have here, but it seems to be working in their favor.
It seems like a brawly dive is what's working best nowadays for multiple teams. It's something that we're seeing very, very frequently. Maybe not with these hero pools specifically, but it seems to work out for a lot of teams for that general composition. It looks like Howard's made a change from Zarya to Roadhog. Roadhog, you know, might be able to hook that Tracer, might be able to hook some of the supports and pull people into their line. Nano Visor coming out from the high ground, though. Knocked off by the Winston, but picks both Baptiste and Ash. Ash gets out Bob before going down. It looks like Primaled Winston takes down Nanoed Soldier. Dives onto the Reinhardt with Bob as support. Coalesce finally comes out to keep their Reinhardt up. Not much value other than that on that Coalesce, just keeping their main tank there, which is not the worst use of it. Takes down Kermi. Looks like NECC is going to have to back off here. Howard with a good hold there, even against that Bob and Primal combo. Tracer still in the background, causing problems, getting tanks to turn around. Zarya still fairly highly charged, kind of pushing up to front corner with that Lucio. You know, just trying to get some damage in on his barrier.
Definitely would like to see NECC regroup right here, is they have a lot of time left before they have to get to that next point.
You know, I'd also like to see them kind of use their ultimates together very well, and it looks like they are just rolling ultimates, just using all of them. And they are rolling, I see Bomb and Window, as well as, I believe, a Nano coming out there. No, Grav, not Nano. I'm losing my mind. But they use 3 ultimates there. Lucio boops the Reinhardt off, and Howard uses that Shatter, trying to prevent them from getting to the point. Great push there. Great use of all of their ultimates, kind of one after another, making that team fight so unwinnable for Howard that there was just nothing they could do to fight against it. Great gameplay there.
And this play of the game right here, it looks like Freaky J, and it will be probably that big bomb, you'd think.
Yep, there it is, the bomb on the Ana, and then finishing off the Junkrat there. That's a great target selection. You know, the bubble saves her so she can finish off Cozy. You know, it's a great Tracer movement play, great use of the ultimate, picking the right targets, and really just hitting your shots. That's something that we love to see here.
Absolutely. And as we look at it now, in this best of 3 map series, the first map goes to Northern Essex, and they come in here 4-0, and we can see why. But right now, if you're Howard, how do you think you want to bounce back for this next map?
And Howard, you know, all I would do for them is just really kind of pull ourselves together and just kind of take a look at their composition, see what's working for us, see what's not working for us, and really go from there, and then work on a team comp that we know that we've used before, and just kind of tighten up the little mistakes that we're making and make sure we capitalize on any CCs.
For sure, for sure. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to remind you that you can follow us on social media at NECC Games. Again, that's NECC Games on Twitter and Instagram. And of course, thank you for following us here at twitch.tv/NECC_esports. We appreciate you being here with us. And Connor, so far, this is a pretty close match. I mean, I know that Northern Essex was able to pull it off, but there was a lot of team fights that went both ways there in that match.
You know, there was a lot of great contention by Howard. You know, they were doing a lot of the right things. You know, they're getting the good picks. They're taking out the supports first. They were having great target selection. They just needed to clean up just some of the little things, some of the little positional things, you know, stay together a little better. But overall, I mean, both these teams are playing very, very well, and it's a great game so far. But it looks like we're going to be moving to Eichenwald for this next match here, and it looks like a great map for these two teams. You know, there's a lot of areas to dive, there's a lot of areas to brawl, and there's even some long sight lines for your long-range hit scan characters. So, you know, there's a lot of good things in this next map that, you know, will be able to let these DPS shine. And same with the main tanks, you know, whoever the shot caller is for each team, being able to make the calls of, you know, do we want to take high ground? Do we want to go underneath? Do we want to flank left? Like, where do we want to go as a unit? And then go from there.
Absolutely. And Northern Essex comes into our challengers division here at the NECC in first place and the #1 seed for the playoffs right now. Now, again, there's a few weeks left, so we don't want to make any change or make any assumptions. But right now, after seeing them in this first match, I mean, it looks like they're trying to wrap up this #1 seed over the next couple games.
It does look like they've definitely put in the work and put in the effort to really earn that #1 position so far. But it's not to be said that they are, you know, forever stuck at #1. There's a lot of hungry teams in the Challengers division that, you know, have a good chance of taking that spot away from them if they work hard enough and start winning their games the way they know how to. So it's very, very competitive right now.
Absolutely. And it looks like we are going to be getting ready to go in the chat very shortly. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Challengers Division Esports here in the NECC. And as of right now, we've broken this into the Challengers Division and the Champions Division. But right now, both these divisions, Connor, have been extremely competitive across both divisions.
Yeah, it does look like even if it's a lower SR team, it does look like they're working together and playing at a much higher level than their rank would suggest. You know, they're working together, they're combining ultimates in ways that, you know, you wouldn't see out of standard lower tier ranks, but they're playing much, much higher than their rank suggests. I think that, you know, we have some sleepers for sure here.
Absolutely. And Connor, as we go into the high country with that spooky map version, I love it. We head to Eichenwald. That first corner, that first point under the bridge is so crucial for those early picks. Talk people about what we're going to see right here as you go under the bridge and what we're going to see on this map here.
So for the first point here, it's a long way from spawn for the attacking team. They have a full corner to go around, and then they have a very, very small choke point to get through. Basically, they have two choices. They can either go through the bridge, which is a small choke point as it is, or go through the room immediately to the left of the bridge, which is an even smaller choke point. Basically, they have to force their way through and assert dominance through that first little choke point to be able to have any chance of progressing to the first checkpoint.
And it looks to me, I mean, we got some good compositions here. This is going to be a up close and personal fight, except for Northern Essex. They do bring the Widow out with Freaky J, who had the play of the game on the last map. It's going to be intense as we see a lot of new characters on the field.
You know, Ball is another fun off-tank that I love to see here. I'm excited to see all the chaos that he causes. Widow going for that cheeky shot over the rooftops with her grapple. That's always some classy stuff that you like to see there. Reinhardt Zarya coming through with Howard pushing into the Reinhardt. Reinhardt from NECC separated. Wall comes up from May. He does not stop. However, Howard's Reinhardt goes down. Ball diving onto the supports, rolling out, taking shield, a lot of health there. Soldier, one shot for NECC, needs heals and has needed heals for a hot second now. Lucio trying to get a cheeky boop in on the Moira. It looks like Widow going to work, taking out 3 there. Moira and May pushing them back to spawn. Now they'll have to regroup, and it looks like NECC is not letting their foot off the gas, and they're pushing all the way to spawn doors here.
Wow, and it looked like the momentum was going to be that direction on the Howard side. But now let's see if they can cap around this corner as they've regrouped.
You know, the swap to Doomfist there is definitely worried that Reinhardt forced him to back up here. It looks like they're taking left side. Block the shatter with the May wall. Huge. Moira coalesces as well. Reinhardt misses his charge, rattled after missing that shatter. And it looks like Howard is dominating through here. It looks like Soldier has popped his ultimate, trying to, make something happen here. Doomfist taking away a lot of his sightlines by punching him away. Reinhardt as well with that huge shield of his, stopping him from being able to see the rest of his team. NECC now regrouping here. Zarya one shot, but bubbles herself to survive. Doomfist gets a good punch in on Ball. Doomfist now ulting. 5v2 in Howard's favor. Doomfist takes out the Ana no healer. Reinhardt goes down, and it looks like Howard's in a very good position here to full take this point. It looks like NECC is going to back off and give them the room they need to bring it to the next part of this map.
Well, and like we said, we knew that it was going to be up close and personal as the payload flips to the Howard Community College side. And man, this has been an intense, up-in-your-face match so far.
Widow's doing a great job. Freaky J hitting their shots, you know, picks the Ana, staggers Ana down, you know, getting good shots in on the other team, you know, trying to play around those big Reinhardt shields and, you know, hit those shots. And I've seen some headshots coming out of here, so you know that's something dangerous to deal with. You know, fully charged Widow's 300 damage, which is pretty much any low health hero is going to go down immediately with a headshot by Widow. Very, very dangerous character to play against. Reinhardt, however, out of position, gets pinned to the wall and goes down. NECC has no main tank moving forward. Ana also picks the Doomfist, slowing their assaults down. And Freaky J with a headshot on one of their main supports. Moira going down there. No more Brawl support. Hammond dives in but gets frozen by the Mei and then pinned. Still alive, but only for a second. It looks like Widow's going down. Widow uses sights. It looks like Tilted goes down. He's coming back from spawn now. Nano onto the Reinhardt. Freeze coming out from Mei as well, and there's Grav. Kosi's finally back here. Ana's in a bad position. Ana goes down, but takes the Mei out with her with that dangerous nade. Pinned Reinhardt from NECC going into the background, fighting with Zarya. Takes her down. Ball separating the rest of the team. You know, Moira getting separated, having to get picked and staggered. Lucio making his way out, and it looks like NECC is going to hold this point for the time being.
And my goodness, NECC dropped every single ult they had to be able to push back. So a little bit, not much of an ult advantage though, as we look at the top screen. So just shatter for the both Reinhardts.
And it looks like Soldier's ultimate for NECC and Doomfist ultimate are going to be the two that are coming up first. Freaky J gets taken down by the Doomfist. Doomfist doing his job, diving some low health heroes, using that high pick potential he has. Zarya gets booped off with the Hammond drop. Losing your off tank and one of your DPS is not looking good for Howard in this fight here. Hammond now onto the back line. Blocks a nade by Ana. Soldier ults. Hammond hacked. Very bad for Hammond to be hacked. It loses all of his mobility. Counter charge from the Doomfist and Reinhardt, but he goes down as well. Freaky J getting a pick on the Moira. Doomfist also going down. Hammond going all the way back, trying to get a pick on that Zarya, but Zarya was too high health for that to do anything. It looks like NECC going to hold here.
And what a play by that Reinhardt. As we go, he has so many opportunities that most players might have tried to use the shatter condense like that. But as we go for this next team fight, he still has shatter.
Widow uses walls here, and it looks like Tilted keeps getting hacked. It might be dangerous for him to continue diving that backline like that with that Sombra. It's a great counter pick for Hammond. Hammond hacked again. Widow taking some good shots off, gets the Moira. Reinhardt low on health. But takes out the Zarya as well, and Reinhardt finishes Desired Sloth there. You know, great play there, great Widow play. Hitting shots is what's important, and you know, if Widow keeps hitting those shots, team fights are going to be very, very difficult to win for Howard.
And right now, what can Howard do to offset? Because right now, they cannot get around this corner.
Oh, it looks like they've just swapped to a dive comp to try to deal with the Widow a little bit here. You know, their control of the high ground is very, very good, with both a Soldier and a Widow there. Widow goes down from the dive from Winston, but the shatter comes out from Reinhardt. Reinhardt eventually gets some with help from Tilted with that huge swing, taking out both supports. They swap to a dive composition here, and they're seeing if they can hit those shots, knowing that Widow's giving them a lot of trouble. Beat comes out from NECC. Fire Strike takes out Sombra, and Tilted finishes off Winston. It looks like NECC is pushing them back to spawn again. You know, great composure held by NECC here, but you know, Howard doing a good job of switching up their composition when they realize that something's not working for them, and they take a second to think about what can work best. It looks like Winston and Doomfist hopped on point to keep it into overtime. They had a good pick there on the Ana. Ball ults on point. Winston taking a lot of damage from that, and then Soldier ults as well, just absolutely removing them from the face of that point.
Well, and like you said, for Howard, they made the change to the dive cop, but Connor, it was a little too late, as they were not able to try to get anything done. I mean, your hat has to come off to Northern Essex Community College, because right now, this is a dominant performance so far.
They are playing very, very well together. They're very composed no matter what Howard throws at them. You know, even if they lose a team fight, they do a good job of bringing themselves back and kind of playing smart about how they're going to reapproach that next fight instead of just absolutely staggering in and, you know, wasting time and resources just trying to get back as quickly as possible. They'd rather take a second, you know, bring their whole team instead of just, you know, one after the other, which I think is very, very smart of them. They're doing a good job of that. And it looks like they're going to keep a very similar composition moving forward, except having a McCree for their backline protection. Looks like Howard as well is going to have a Ryan Zarya kind of brawl composition here. There's Mercy and Moira are the two supports with Sombras on both sides of the field here, although they do have a Reaper, so Reaper might be a problem for Reinhardt Shields, as we know, does a lot of damage, and with his lifesteal, he can be a very problematic anti-tank player. We'll have to see how they clash in the middle here on this first point.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back at it. Map 2 of this best of 3 series, round 2. Let's see if Howard can hold and see what they can do.
Ball already doing a good job of splitting Howard up, you know, slamming right through them and then just getting them separated. And it looks like Lucio Boops are doing the same thing. They're just trying to keep them as far away from each other as possible. Reinhardt goes down on Howard. Good slam by Ball there. Ball, you know, recharging, slamming back in and playing Beyblades around the point. Let them rip, keeping everyone off point there. And is that Ball took his armor as well. Reaper still on point with his life steal, but the slam from Tilted takes him down as well. Tilted, very dominant play by that off tank there. You know, a lot of utility out of his mobility. You know, doing a good job of separating Howard and doing a good job of getting high damage in at all times.
And Connor, to that high level ball play is not easy to do, so it's pretty impressive if you're watching right now.
You have to be very technically sound with Ball to be able to do the kinds of things he's doing and do it well, with being able to get out every time, you know, even with him being hacked, even with dealing with a Reaper or a May, you know, he's doing all the right things to kind of get in, disrupt the enemy team, and get out. Here's another big slam in the back, and there is his ultimate, denying an area, nice AoE ultimate there, defending that little corner, and then Shatter blocked by Howard as well. Multiple great plays by Howard here. It looks like Reinhardt was hacked, but Mercy ultimates to get those healings out. Here comes coalescences from both sides here. Zarya falls off bridge, unfortunately. High Noon comes out as well, takes out the Flying Mercy. And now NECC has free reign on payload to push it forward as far as possible, get it as close to that checkpoint as they can to win this match. They are having everyone on payload minus Sombra, Ball, and Lucio going for a quick flank, and it looks like Howard's going to push to the left too instead of pushing over bridge, knowing that the bridge is a very dangerous location to deal with. Pushing to high ground here, getting the Sombra off high ground. Winston diving to the back line of his own team. Hack comes out as well. Hack's a massive ultimate there. Two hacks come out, both EMPs go off, but it does not matter. NECC stays on the point and pushes it all the way to the end, and that's another win for NECC.
Wow, and Northern Essex Community College now will move to 5-0 on the season. But ladies and gentlemen, do not forget, we will play this third map. Let's look at this Reinhardt play of the game.
Big pin there. Let's see if the Shatter comes out. Shatter comes out, takes both supports out with it. You know, great targets for that Shatter there. There's really nothing they can do to stop that or avoid it. Maybe Moira could have faded out of it, but the timing for that is just too immense. He had a free double Shatter there, which is always fun for Reinhardt players.
Absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, we will play this third map because here at the NECC in the Overwatch playoff divisions, one of the things, we are going to have some teams at the bottom of the playoff seeding that are going to be close or similar in record. So all of these maps count. I mean, especially Connor for Howard Community College, as they come in to 2-1, now falling to 2-2. I mean, winning this next map could go a long way to them as they try to get in the playoffs in the next few weeks.
It could be a very, very important playoff seeding spot for them, you know, if they can win this next map. You know, it looks like they have a couple changes coming out. The Niall is going to hop out for Howard, and Mamba is going to come in. It'll be very, very interesting to see what kind of changes that brings to the composition and what each character brings to the table.
Well, and we're going to go down. This is one of my favorite maps just because I love how beautiful it is. We're going to go seaside. We're headed to Ilios. It is a beautiful map. What can people expect as we get ready to go?
You know, we can expect a lot of close quarters fighting, and depending on the map that we get here, it's a random of 3. One of the maps, well, is very, very fun for players like Roadhog, Lucio, sometimes even Ball. So it's a lot of basically environmental spots that if you fall into, your character loses all their health and they die. So, you know, it's very, very important not to get hit into things like well or get hit off the side of the map. You know, the bridge was causing some problems there for some people in Eichenwald. So, you know, if you're having trouble with fall damage, you're going to have a lot more trouble on Ilios.
Absolutely. And, I mean, wow. I mean, this is going to be impressive. And we have a new game mode. As you can see, the pit in the middle, the one you were just talking about. Explain this game mode to people that might be new here to Overwatch.
So this game mode is basically kind of like a king of the hill, essentially. Basically, one team takes control of the point, and as long as that team has control of the point, their percentage will continue going up and up and up. And until one team is completely removed from the point, the other team cannot start gaining a percentage or start taking control of that hill. It is not an instant takeover. The second one team loses point control, the one team has to fully take control of the point for a few seconds before it'll swap positions over from one team to the other.
Absolutely, and we're pretty close, ladies and gentlemen. This is the 3rd map of this match, and let's get into it. Northern Essex. I'd love to see, what are you looking at for these compositions, and let's see how that plays out, because we're 5 seconds away from running this last map.
So like I said, you know, you're going to see a Roadhog from both teams here. Just the potential for getting kills with that well in the middle is too high for not to play a Roadhog, and a Lucio from both teams as well. But it looks like Tilted's going to stay on that Hammond pick, and it looks like Howard is going to keep on that Rhine, you know, playing main tank, off tank. Tilted doing a good job of disrupting the team. Cozy gets a pick on the Moira though, but Reaper goes down to the flashbang from McCree. It looks like NECC is backing back to their point, but with Ball on point, they are starting to take position, but being contested. And it looks like NECC is finally going to get back to the point. Loses it to Howard, though. Howard playing very well together. Hammond goes down from the hack and being in the middle of the entire enemy team. That is a tough position to be in. It looks like Tracer's still in the background, almost falls into the well, but blinks out of it. It looks like Roadhog trying to push forward, break Reinhardt shields. Tracer doing a good job being annoying in the background, just doing some blanket damage to people. Tracer's got bomb already. Roadhog's a great ult charge battery. Hammond's already back again, but hacked again by that Sombra. You know, they're doing a really good job of using the right characters to pick the right targets. You know, being able to hack that Hammond every single time is great. High Noon coming out, but hooked by Roadhog. Roadhog just cancels that High Noon out, and NECC is going to have to back off here. You know, great teamwork by Howard. Mercy's even battle mercying that Tracer, trying to get a pick in.
Well, and what a professional performance. And Howard, just like we talked about, this map's so important to them and the future of their season. I mean, that is exactly how you'd want to start in this match. Oh, Death Blossom.
That is a fat finger if I've ever seen one. That is unfortunate coming from Cozy there, just pressing Q when you're not ready. Or it's an ultimate flex, one or the other. Hammond comes in, drops down mines in the front left corner of point here, trying to prevent some location from going. But Howard's Rhine shatters from the back. Huge shatter. NECC losing players left and right. Tilted on the back end of the point contesting, but you know, Howard still has players on point, so they cannot take over the point yet. Gets hacked again and goes down. Hammond might not be the call here. You might want to be playing a main tank or something else. Moving forward, it might just work better into the composition. Mercy gets a res off on Reinhardt, keeping their main tank in the fight.
Absolutely. Let's see what they're going to do, as it's such close quarters right around there. Here comes the coalescence from NECC. Ooh.
2 whole hogs and hacks coming out, canceling out one of them. Hook as well. It looks like it is an absolute clash here. Howard's Reinhardt gets a big pin on the Roadhog there. Beat comes out from NECC's Lucio in an attempt to keep this point. He's going to contest as long as he can. Hammond And Moira on point as well. Tracer uses recall. Here comes Death Blossom for real this time. Doesn't pick anyone. Another slam and quick ultimates coming out of Hammond, but it does not matter. Moira fading out of Fire Strike. Reaper back now from NECC. Hacked immediately by the Sombra. Good hacks coming out of Howard Sombra there. Roadhog uses Breather. Roadhog also misses, hitting NECC's Roadhog with hook. Big hook from NECC's Roadhog, though, takes Reinhardt right out of the fight. And NECC looks like they are taking control of this fight a little bit. Tracer Bomb hits the Lucio as well. Cozy takes out Osiris. Reaper against Reaper action there. Tracer also goes down by the Howard Roadhog. It looks like Sombra falls in the well and gets moved in by Lucio. Another Death Blossom comes out by Reaper. Cozy finally takes down that Roadhog. This is an absolute brawl here. Moira goes down to Cozy as well. It looks like Lucio from NECC still attempting to contest along with Reaper. Tilted, swinging around doing Hammond things. You know, just keeping pressure on. Tracer gets hacked, has no recall, no blink. Gets taken down by Cozy again. Cozy doing some good work here on DPS. Coalescence comes in and Whole Hog comes out against both Roadhogs here. Kermie gets hacked and goes down. Reaper ult from NECC now onto Reinhardt, but doesn't get him. Reinhardt solo shatters the Reaper. Cozy still doing work, taking out Moira. This is a huge battle here. NECC's Reaper goes down finally. Tilted still in the background contesting. Tracer recalls into the back line of 3, trying to get as much damage on that Sombra as possible to stay alive. Winston now back to the point. Kermie, 1v4, does not take it. Misses bomb by Tracer. Winston dives in onto the Roadhog and then gets hooked to stay in. That's a lot of damage there. Fantastic point control and fantastic final fight by Howard there. Fantastic control overall. 100% to 37% for round 1 in Howard's favor. That is the kind of Overwatch we want to see.
That was intense. And how about, like we talked about, Howard comes in and they win the first round of this this last map, needing to have it to help them with playoff contention. And oh my goodness, what a play. That was intense Overwatch action right there.
That is what we love to see here at the NECC. Speaking of NECC, it looks like NECC's now has switched from the double off-tank roles to a Hammond and Reinhardt. It looks like Tilted is a Hammond one-trick from what we're seeing here. Does not like getting off Hammond, although he does fantastic job of building his ultimate and getting disruptive with the other team. He's a great Hammond player.
Well, and he switched into the second map, and it's been impressive. Let's see as we dive on top right of the objective right now as everybody dives in.
It looks like Howard's keeping the Roadhog. Freaky J with 2 picks right off the bat, and Kermie coming in to clean up the main tanks here. Howard in a bit of disarray after losing those 3 immediately. Roadhog attempting to get out, but surrounded by NECC players. Goes down. That's a lot of ultimate charge given for NECC that Howard is just not going to have the advantage of. NECC is going to have big ultimate advantage with that Roadhog not jumping off and staying to fight and even breathering at the very end there. It looks like Winston finally goes down as well for Howard. Gets picked by NECC. Freaky J doing work in the background. It looks like the supports are getting in on this support on support action. Mercy goes down. It looks like Mercy will have to stagger on back.
And that Widow taking that mid lane up top and just raining shots down. Oh, massive!
Freaky J clawing up, trying to get a cheeky shot onto Cozy when he doesn't notice. That was almost amazing to see.
Almost nailed it.
Freaky J just dominating Widow play here, you know, is not afraid to use grapple to get into a weird location just to get a quick single shot. Winston trying to dive Freaky. Freaky survives. Genji finishes off the Winston there. Freaky backing off here, getting more shots on the Zarya. Taking out the Zarya as well. Cozy takes down Tilted.
Wow. And what a turnaround we are seeing in this round as we saw in the first one. Just to the spawn for them. Oh, big shots though.
Cozy with a big fist onto Lucio. Cozy diving onto the Widow, but out of cooldown, so could not take out the Widow there. Winston diving on the Genji there. Moira popping Coalesce to keep him up. It looks like Mercy reses Cozy. Mercy goes down from Freaky J. Solo shatter onto Cozy. Cozy is just not going to be able to get out of that one. It looks like Tilted takes out Roadhog as well. And Venom Mine takes out Lucio. Freaky J putting on a show here tonight, deciding that he wants to get as many picks as possible. It looks like Winston Primal to get onto point for Howard. Hacked Blade. Good hack there onto that Genji Blade from Howard. Winston diving back to his team to place the team here. Good punch by the Doomfist. Hack onto Tilted, but not onto the rest of the team. Looks like Moira's fighting a D.Va one-on-one. It looks like Genji's trying to get in there. Cozy gets a double fist. Moira goes down to the Winston. Winston gets picked by Freaky J. Cozy ultimates Freaky J and takes out Lucio, and that is huge plays by Cozy there to get those picks to keep them in this fight. 99% to 4% NECC.
Wow, and we see people in the chat, everyone saying Cozy going crazy, Cozy going wild. Man, what a play we have seen. He has stepped up. I know.
Cozy going hard today. Reinhardt slamming in, Reinhardt and Hammond slamming into Howard here. Minimal backup. Reinhardt goes down, Genji with the big dash. And Cozy taking out the Lucio again. It's like he's got something out for him. Punching out. Calm here. Winston in NECC spawn, finally jetpacking out. Lucio goes down to Hunted. Big res there by Mercy. Oh, here comes Walls. You got to be careful for Freaky J here. He will get shots off the second he got it. It looks like he got a body shot off on Lucio. Tilted, ulting in the middle of point there. Winston being healed by the Mercy ult. Shatter coming out, but not getting anyone. Cozy fisting out there. Punching the Reinhardt. Another Coalescence coming out here.
Oh.
Tilted falling to the Primal. Winston going down to Osiris here. Meteor Strike coming out from Cozy here. Who is he going to pick? It does some good damage to the Reinhardt there. Blade coming out as well from Osiris, going after the D.Va. D.Va flies straight into the air to take away that value of that Blade there. Genji still in the background, uses dash to get into the fight. Bomb coming out from D.Va, from Mamba. Kermie goes down. Osiris picks Cozy. Cozy is down for the fight. Mercy also gets picked on Howard. This is NECC coming back here. D.Va on D.Va there with Lucio contesting. Lucio goes down. D.Va gets demeched and immediately eliminated.
Wow.
Double overtime here. Howard needs a touch. Doomfist just could not get there in time. Punches the wall instead of going on to point. Unfortunate punch there. Just stopped them from getting to point. But now it is 1-1. Fantastic. We're going to go into round 3 here to see who decides this map.
Wow, and what an impressive play by Northern Essex. I mean, Connor, they came back. We thought Howard would have momentum, push back as they win the first round pretty handedly, but Northern Essex says, I'm not going anywhere, and puts on a performance as we get ready for this last round.
That is why these teams are both so good. They're able to come back from a loss or from a loss of momentum, and they're able to bring it around, turn it around immediately, the very next game, the very next map, and be able to do something with their team comp and you know, really put in some good work and good effort fighting against these other teams here.
If you have to call it right now, Connor, who wins this series? Who wins this map?
Honestly, right now of this map, it's anyone's show right now. That last one went to 99-99. It could be anyone. Howard's looking very tough here, though, with their team composition. It looks like they're diving onto this little point, which is a little interesting for this point in particular, but we'll see how it goes. Tilted already almost knocks Cozy off into oblivion with his swing from Hammond. Mercy also almost knocked off into oblivion. It looks like Tilted knocks himself off into oblivion with the D.Va, trading himself out for the other off tank. Genji goes down to the pin. Boop takes out Winston. Mercy reses Genji. Cozy gets knocked off by Hammer. A lot of environmental deaths here. Mercy finally goes down to the Moira from NECC, and NECC looks like they're going to capture the point first, 25%.
Smart, don't it?
Howard's going to have to regroup here.
And Northern Essex just comes out and wins that initial point. Early picks go their way. Let's see if Howard can bounce back and try to win this map.
Howard doing the right thing, you know, really sticking together, kind of moving as a unit. Lucio's going to come out of spawn, but Lucio with that speed boost is going to be able to get there very, very quickly, so that's not too much of a big deal. Fire Strike comes off, hits that Moira. Moira low on health, but down goes Kermi very, very quickly. High Noon coming out from the top right. Blocks everyone except for Genji. Unfortunately, Genji didn't get the reflected on that. Could have reflected that back into the McCree right there. But Howard really doing well, picking this team apart now. McCree and Moira both go down, and there goes Lucio. Howard just putting on a show here. Tilted with another environmental kill. Takes out that Lucio. Tilted eventually goes down to the damage boosted Genji, but still fantastic, fantastic last kill there with Tilted. Tilted making an unseen switch to Zarya. You know, they're really going for the brawl comp now instead of trying to stick with this Hammond composition, you know. I can't wait to see how fast Tilted gets charged here.
Wow. I didn't see that coming, Connor. I did not see them, Howard taking his back.
Huge shatter.
Oh, big.
Dragons are coming out now as well on point. Here comes Blade as well. Dragons and Blade. Takes out Kermi. Tracer. Freaky J takes out Cozy there. And down goes Osiris. It looks like Moira's still in the fight. And Lucio supports are still in there. Lucio goes down. Zarya, Tilted, being chased down, jumps off, does the smart play there, doesn't give up any more ult charge. Same with Freaky J. You know, good work out of those two, not feeding ults to the other team. You know, that is the smart play right there. If you keep fighting and keep feeding the other team ultimate in a lost fight, you know, they're going to have ult advantage, and they'll be able to use those against you later on, which is always, always, always a disadvantage for you. So it's good that they're jumping off the map and, you know, making sure they're not giving any extra resources to the other team.
For Howard, they have to try to hold here. This, like we said, could be a massive, massive when it comes to the playoffs. So let's see.
Counter charge by both Reinhardts there. Kermi swinging in, but gets shattered along with Moira. That is 3 down, but Cozy and Desire to go down as well. Kermi finally goes down here. It looks like Howard has the advantage. Tracer, Lucio in the back. Tracer gets hooked. Cozy gets rezzed by Mercy. Beat comes out by Lucio, keeping them in the fight. Tracer, Lucio here to contest. Howard, 99. Lucio still contesting with that Tracer, but it looks like Whole Hog is going to go after that Tracer. Dragon's coming out now as well from Howard. It looks like Osiris is going down to the Hog. Bomb comes out, and they finally take out Reinhardt. Freaky J takes out 2, both Reinhardt and Mercy. You hear Blade as well, and a Coalescence, and a Beat. Tilted goes down, Off-Tank goes down. Cozy putting in good work here. Moira Coalesce from NECC is also there. Cozy gets meleeed to death by the Lucio, and Tracer jumps off on accident. Oh. Tilted hooked by the Roadhog. Gets the kill onto Roadhog, and it looks like Genji's going down as well. NECC has a clear advantage here. Reinhardt takes down Reaper. NECC regains control of the point, but Reinhardt and Mercy are on point, but Reinhardt's going to go down. Kermi gets 2 kills there with the melees to finish off. Tilted also finishes off the Mercy. Howard's going to have to regroup here, 99 to 80.
Wow, and what a turnaround right there. Oh, go ahead, big grab.
Grab by Spawn. NECC is pushing as forward as possible. Howard loses their Genji, but Cozy takes care of Kermi there. It looks like Howard's pushing forward as fast as possible. I see what they're doing with the grab, but it just was not late enough. They could have held it maybe a second longer, but it was a good play to try to contest. But Howard back onto point, contesting. It looks like Bomb picks 2 by Freaky J. And here's Hammer, but Hammer doesn't go through to hit anyone. Genji now deflecting on point, doing as much as he can. Same with D.Va. Genji goes down, D.Va gets demeched. Lucio's now back in the point. Baby D.Va's about to go down. Reaper picks both of them, and it looks like NECC is going to clutch that up at the very end. Great job to both teams tonight. That was a fantastic last set of maps.
Wow, and I mean, the competition was intense. Let's see this play of the game. It looks like it's going to be Cozy with the Doomfist play.
Now, odds it was this play. were high. You know, big punch onto Osiris there. Meteor strike onto Freaky J, knowing Freaky J is definitely a problem. You know, finishing off that Lucio, good use of his cooldowns and his abilities, you know, getting those picks in there. Great job by Cozy on that play of the game.
Absolutely. And so, ladies and gentlemen, with that, Northern Essex Community College will take the 3-0 map win over Howard Community College. A tough night for the Dragons, but they've played, Connor, they played very competitive, and it was an impressive match.
Yes, they did. You know, it was a great match by both teams, especially, you know, Howard brought it back the first map, and then second map, you know, went 99-99, and then even brought it into overtime for that third map too. It was very, very competitive, no matter how you look at it.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to remind you that we are not done this evening. In about 45 minutes from now, we will have our second match of the evening from the Champions Division as California State University Dominguez Hills will face off against Becker College. It is going to be a fantastic matchup. You want to stay tuned for that. But right now, Connor, thank you for being here with me tonight, man. I always love being here with you, and we saw some intense Overwatch action tonight so far.
This is what you love to see out of Overwatch as a whole. This is what the game should look like, and these teams are playing it at a very high level.
Right now, and if you're in that Challengers division, I think that Northern Essex University at 5-0, clearly in first place of the Challengers division. I mean, for Northern Essex, I mean, the statement has been made, Connor.
They've earned it. They are working hard, and they're clearly putting in the time for this game. You know, making sure that they are doing all the right things and being able to come back from adversity. They are playing it the best way they know how.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for that next match. We say thank you to our partners, our friends at Helix Esports, for all they do for us behind the scenes. Big announcement coming with them very soon. Of course, our linear TV partner you might be watching right now live on ESTV, now available on Samsung TV Plus, the Roku channel, Vizio, tons of options where you can check out ESTV, and they have esports action from around the globe on their platform all the time. Want to check that out. And of course, our friends at HyperX, some of the best gear in gaming now comes to the NECC. It was a fantastic matchup. In about 45 minutes, come back to us live right here on Twitch, as we will have California State University Dominguez Hills facing off against Becker College. It will be a fantastic matchup. Until next time, for Jacob Van Ryan, our commissioner here at the NECC, thank you to our executive producer this evening and director of esports, Caleb Gluby, for all that he does for us. Of course, Connor, you're the man, dude. I appreciate you being here.
Good being here, man.
Absolutely. Guys, we will see you in just under an hour right back here in the same location for that second match of Overwatch Wednesdays. And listen, my name is Jaron Bell. The action is just getting started. Stay beautiful, stay blessed, GGs, and we are the NECC. We'll see you guys next time.
No stopping us. Fly without boarding pass. Couldn't catch me, I be moving fast. Call me a shooting star. Let 'em know who you are. Flying up in a bar. Wish on a star. Time to show 'em who's in charge. Call me a shooting star. too far. Get a glance. Looking at a shooting star. Got more than a couple of people going mad. I swear they're rooting hard. Tell them I'd be big in the game like she went and got them breast implants. I said I'm moving too fast. Didn't even get a glance. I'm ready to eat up track like I'm seated in a restaurant. If you had swag like mine, you know it's best to flaunt. We aren't hating because you aren't. Shining like it's neon. Rock like kings of Leon. Shooting stars across the galaxy. I stand out, so don't be mad at me. Infiltrate, I'm with my strategy. When I turn up, them amateurs have to leave. Shooting stars across the galaxy. I stand out, so don't be mad at me. Infiltrate, I'm with my strategy. When I turn up, them amateurs have to leave. Yeah, shooting. Yeah, shooting. Yeah, shooting. Yeah, shooting shots. Shooting stars. Didn't even get to cross. I'm moving too far. Get a glance.
The world has been broke down. The world is just announced. Final time is now. The final time to bow. But I will not get down. For you can't force me now. Awakening is clear. I could show you how. I could show you how to fight them. I could show you how to defeat them now. Holding out for dear life. Without the pain and all the strife. I know that you can make me sane. Stop me crying. I know that you will keep me safe. Safe from dying. 'Cause you are all I need. The reason I break.
Up here, we're free, bound only by frozen memories. Lost, it's hard, racing all these broken dreams. Yeah.
At Best Buy, you can always count on getting the latest tech at a great price. Plus, we'll make sure there are lots of easy ways to get the tech you need. So whether you choose next-day delivery, safe installation, or curbside pickup ready in an hour, you can always count on us. Shop anyway, never overpay. Best Buy.
Lyrics inspired by State Farm's surprisingly great rates.
But my rates like that, they're great like that, drive safe like that. I save like that, straight up facts, great rates.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I can't find my way back to you until you make amends with the demons you've been through. And I can't regret leaving you alone until you find your way back home. Until you find your way back home. Don't let me drown. Don't let me drown. Don't let me drown. Until you find your way back home. Don't let me drown. Take me away from home. Show me all the places I've never known. And we'll chase the night. Race all of these broken dreams in flight. And we'll fly. We'll fly away, away, away. Yeah, we'll fly. I will fly. Up here, we're free, bound only by frozen memories, lost in time, racing all these broken dreams tonight, and we'll fly. We'll fly away, away, away. Yeah, we'll fly. I will fly.
It could take a million days, but I see it through. I climb the highest mountain, baby, just to be with you.
I feel like I fought all my life for this. This one part, this 1/3 I've always missed. No, just don't let it go. I started the fight, but now I'm losing. So will I fall again? I'm scared of heights, yet it was me who ran away. Oh, I can't forgive, can't forget myself. The peace that I'm missing, it kills me inside. I need help, oh please give me back this one part, this one that I'm sorry of.
Like you were already mine. Surreal to me how you make me feel wild and calm at the same time. Never felt so alive. Thought I was crazy until I reached out and saw your hand there waiting for mine. Like the stars had all aligned.
What is up, all you beautiful people, and welcome back to the NECC. And of course, the main man himself, Yelk Reb, is in the building in the screen underneath me. What is up, my man?
What's going on, Jaron? Happy to be here. Just saw an absolute banger of the last game, and I'm really excited to get going on this champion division game.
Oh, man, it's going to be fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a matchup for you tonight as Becker College comes in 3-1 on the season, facing off against tonight what will have to be called the underdog in California State University. Dominguez Hills faces off. I mean, this could be the Eagles versus the Toros. I mean, we are about to have a heck of a matchup right here.
Yeah, Dominguez Hills, the Toros, they're looking to prove their mettle here. They've got, I think, an uphill battle ahead of them, but they've already got a win in the Champions Division, the upper division, the highest level of content that the NECC has. So honestly, if you can get any win in the Champions Division, you can beat any team here. So I think they just have to play their best, play their game, and likewise for Becker, it's not going to be free. You know, they got to go in there and play a good 3 maps and come home with a win that way. So it's going to be hard fought. I'm excited to see it.
Absolutely. It is going to be fantastic. And before we get into the action, we want to remind you about our partners here at the NECC. A huge thank you to them. Of course, you've heard me say it, our friends at Helix Esports for all they do behind the scenes. We have a very cool announcement coming with Helix Esports very soon. You want to stay tuned for that. Of course, you might be watching. You might not be watching us on Twitch. You might be watching this on replay at our linear TV partner, ESTV, now available on Samsung TV Plus, the Roku channel, Vizio, and all platform options. They bring you esports action from around the globe on their platform. And of course, last but not least, our brand new partner, our friends at HyperX. Yelk, we're going to get you some of these, man, because HyperX, some of the best gear in gaming, come to the NECC. Man, we are getting ready for this matchup. And for those at home that might be new to Overwatch and maybe they're here supporting Becker College or maybe they're supporting the Toros here, what are they going to see as far as Overwatch action goes?
Well, this first map we got on the docket is Dorado, and that's a map that really has a lot of high grounds throughout, and then a third point that kind of reels it back in, where you usually get those death ball compositions going more. On the previous game, we saw some Ryan Zarya and some Winston Diva played, and a little bit of Wrecking Ball too, so tank lines can really mix it up, and there's just all sorts of different parts of this map where you get the mega health pack control, cart possession, just all sorts of things you have to set up for yourself to get things going through all 3 points. So I think it's going to be very tightly contested and a battle of the tanks on this first map.
It is going to be, and Yelkreb is going to share his screen in here so I can see as well. It's going to be fantastic. But again, ladies and gentlemen, remember that we have 5 days of esports action right here every single night of the week. We have, Madden Mondays, Valorant on Tuesdays, Overwatch Wednesdays with my buddies here, and then Thursday night, Ethan Dolan comes in here with League of Legends, which is going crazy right now. You need to check out. And of course, Friday Night Live, we play Rocket League here at the NECC. And for everyone at home, we will have California State Dominguez Hills will be in blue. They will be the blue team for you tonight, and Becker College will be the red team. We're going to get ready. Again, I love this next map that we're going to start out with in this best of 3 series. Yelk, what can you tell us about Dorado and what these teams are going to want to look to do here?
Yeah, so it's a first point that starts out right out of the spawn door. There's big buildings, like almost skyscrapers as far as Overwatch is concerned, and you can just set up a lot of high ground presence as the defenders. You get a huge advantage right out of the spawn on this map. And then into second point, it's the same thing. Right when you capture that second point, there is a balcony that just towers over your heads. And honestly, if defenders can set up there or if attackers can take it over, anytime you can apply pressure from the top down, it's incredibly more effective against the opposition. So I think that's what we're going to see. It's going to be a battle of the high grounds. And like I said previously, a battle of the tanks on this map.
Absolutely. It's going to be fantastic. We are seeing, as I'm looking now, I see ours in the chat. That means we are getting ready to head to the streets of Dorado. It is going to be fantastic. Let's see. Maybe we'll see us a McCree here tonight. I'd love to see one. We're going to see what these compositions are pretty quick. We've seen a lot of dive and Not many double shields tonight in our earlier match. Let's see what this composition is going to be. What if I mean, Yelk, if it's you, what kind of composition are you running here on Dorado?
Just if I had to speculate, also this being the Champions Division, the higher level of competition here at the NECC, these are teams that probably like to opt for the dive. It takes a lot more coordination and split-second decision-making, but I think that's kind of what you get when you get up into the Champions Division. So I'm expecting to see Winston, D.Va, maybe a Wrecking Ball, but really tanks that have these movement abilities and can get up onto the high ground. And it looks like the attackers are going to run Nape on the Wrecking Ball and then Spark on the Reinhardt. So you've got a little bit of ground and pound with the Reinhardt, and then the Wrecking Ball can just be everywhere at every time, grappling the high grounds, pile driving down into backlines. And on the other side, it looks like Zero and Dizzy are going to be on Ryan Zarya. So a very stable ground composition.
Yeah, and it's going to be impressive to see also what that Ashe can do. I am a big fan of that Mercy pocketed Ashe. So many options, especially when you're trying to defend here. It's going to be impressive to see. As you can see, that Reaper and the Reaper, and we all know how much I love Sombra play. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. We are getting down, and it is time. Let's get Western on the streets of Dorado. Let's get into this game one.
All right, and here we go, Jaron. It looks like just the shield from the Reinhardt opening things up here for Becker at the start of things. And I'm really interested to see this Sombra Reaper composition with the Lucio Moira. It's a composition that runs at you with a lot of speed, and it's a very headstrong attacking composition. But right there, Uncivil Word goes down to Zero's Helix Rocket early. It's that high ground pressure we were talking about. That D.Va, Nape, he's got to get up there and contest as those hits again are just raining in some free damage. But I'm really liking the defensive pressure we're seeing. You can see him opening up these long sight lines and really just not letting the attackers get to cart easily here. This high ground pressure is clearly a puzzle that Becker has to learn to deal with.
And we're looking to see the drop down is going to come pretty soon. And there it is, just on cue. They drop down. Let's see if they push through as Zarya drops a bubble. Man, this is going to get intense really fast.
Yeah, cooldowns get traded out, and the Sombra finds the pick onto Zero. And Zero again goes down. Two members of Dominguez Hills being named Zero. Joey Marie also falling, and the Reaper comp is finally rolling here. You can see that speed boost from the Lucio really just gets this composition in deep on the back line, and they just move the cart with one player on it, and the rest of them, the other five members, they just go straight toward the spawn, taking as much space away from Dominguez Hills as they possibly can.
Well, and you thought the Toros there, you thought they were going to be able to hold that first point because it looked so strong on that first attacker on the corner. But then for Becker, I mean, they just pushed through with aggression. So let's see as we're getting very, very close to this first point.
And Apollo from Toros, he's going to switch over to the Sombra, but the EMP comes through from Sacred and unplugging everyone on the Toros. And right now the defense is struggling to find their footing. The Ana and Dizzy also go down. Nape gets DMEC, but I think it's a little too late. The slam coming through from Spark will clutch this first point for Becker.
Wow. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching above, you see that red timeline as it goes across the screen. Each little check mark underneath is a point. We're going to call those points. And every time they hit a point, they will get more time. So the final goal, they have to get this down to that final check mark to finish out this round with as much time as they can to keep on the clock.
They certainly do, and with every point you cap, you get a little bit more bonus in your time bank. So you can see right now Becker is already at 4 minutes, which is an incredible time bank going into second point. And if they can catch this one about as swiftly as they did the last, it's going to really open things up here. But Spark gets the nano applied onto him, and now he's just battering away at the opposing main tank. Zero doesn't quite know what to do around this corner. The Valk is helping him out a lot with the support. And the Soldier finding at least two from the high ground. It's that high ground pressure we talked about coming in full effect here. And it looks like Dominguez Hills is going to stabilize this second point defense.
Well, and you had to love the Ana there, knew that fight was so crucial, nanoed the Rhine, and was able to push, and they win that point. So now the regroup here is going to be so crucial for Becker as they come back, as they hold the right ground on point.
Yeah, and Dominguez Hills, all they have is the Graviton Surge coming through right now. Can they combo it with the EMP in time? Apollo still at 92%. He's got to let this one fly. Death Blossom into the backline, finds Joey Marie, and Dizzy goes down to Nate's D.Va bomb the cart. Finally beginning to move forward. Shattered gets blocked by Spark. Clutch play right there. Reinhardt holding up his shield in the nick of time. Apollo still sitting on the EMP for Toros. And honestly, they can stabilize this second point and get another crack at this defense.
Absolutely. And one of the things that we've talked about in multiple streams together is the fact that regrouping is so crucial. The communication, being able to get back together. We're going to see the fight go down right here before this second point.
Yeah, and Apollo is just looking to find an opportunity to send this EMP. He wants to make sure he gets Yuchi, that Lucio, for Becker in the mix. But the EMP comes out first for Sacred End, and that's going to be massive follow-up. This is the Nano flies onto Spark, and he is cleaving through the front line on his way into the back line. It's a 6 versus 2 left on the cart, and right now, I don't think anyone's going to make it here to contest. I think Becker has the second point locked in, and their tanks right now are pushing forward into the third spawn, and this is really just a stone rolling downhill, no end in sight right here as Becker is building lots of momentum, but Apollo could take it all away with his EMP on the next fight.
Well, and I was about to say that the soldier for Zero has his ult as well. Maybe see an EMP and a visor there, but Zero gets picked, and let's see how this plays out. As you can see Apollo just looking for that EMP.
Yeah, Apollo in the backline right now. It's so crucial to ultimate first, especially with an ultimate like EMP, and this one flies through, gets the main tank, but the Lucio is not hacked, and that beat drop will effectively counter this EMP. Zero goes down, and with the main tank falling for Dominguez Hills, it's going to be tough to find their footing, but Zero does get that pick as the soldier on the high ground, taking out the Reaper. But Joey Marie goes down to Nate's Diva Bomb. Spark is antied, but still swinging into the front line, and the cart right now currently halted, but a quick little stabilize here coming through, and it looks like Becker is a bit on the front foot, still trying to get into this attacking spawn. Spark has that Earth Shatter online. The Nano can get comboed with him as well, and this Death Blossom coming through from Civil Word could really clutch things here. The Graviton Surge, the first thing flying out from Dizzy. Can Zero do any clean nade to it? And it looks like the Shatter will take down Nape. Death Blossom comes up quite empty there. Nape gets D-Mech, and Ryan gets pinned into the wall across from Zero. The defense has a chance here, Jaron.
Oh man, massive surge there, catching that Reinhardt, taking him out, but it looks like, yes, oh wow, what impressive play. Let's see how this plays out. Oh, Zero gets picked. Oh my goodness.
Zero did an incredible amount of work on that Reinhardt right there. His team had their back up against the wall. That time bank has been dwindled down from 4 minutes to 2, so a fairly good defense here coming in right now. I'm pretty impressed with what I've seen. I think it honestly was just Apollo and Zero switching out what their hero picks were. You see Zero now on the Somber pick, Apollo onto the McCree pick. So you got the McCree pick you wanted. Happy to see the Cowboy out in the mix here on his home map, Dorado. And now the attackers are rolling up high ground.
Yep, absolutely. No, I was going to say, going top left, and for CSU DH, they look a little spread out. They need to regroup here. Let's see how they hold.
Sacred End looking to engage with the EMP, finds it onto the tanks, and now Spark can just get right in the mix onto Dizzy, erases him quickly, but Sacred End could not get out of that ultimate alive. The Shatter comes through from Zero, finds at least one as Uncivil World goes down. Zero right now on the Somber pick, up on the high ground, posing a threat, and the main tank going in, battering the front line. Zero making all the space right now, taking everything away from the attackers.
That was a massive Shatter, and let's not underestimate that res on Apollo, putting the McCree back into play on point. Massive play right there to turn things around. I didn't think they were going to hold it, Yoke, but they pulled it off.
Yeah, and they've still got a lot of ultimates to work with. You see Zero's EMP coming online. Apollo almost has that high noon, and Dizzy with that Graviton Surge. Those are 3 big ultimates, especially for a defending team. But the high ground push again from the attackers throws Dominguez Hills a little off kilter here as they struggle to fan out around this point. Spark is just trying to buy a window for Sacred End to get this hack on, and the Coalescence comes through. EMP counters it though. That Coalescence is canceled. Everyone's locked up in the grab, and High Noon finds 4. Apollo takes out a 5th, and the ball is still rolling here for the defense.
Are you kidding me? I thought that Becker College was going to roll through and take this round, and right now with 10 seconds left, I mean, California State, Dominguez Hills, the Toros are standing strong.
Yeah, 3 seconds left on the clock. I don't think anyone here makes it back in time. Wow. Yeah, overtime bleeds down instantly, and that is quite a turnaround defense from the Toros. I mean, I am very impressed. You see the DPS players just switching the heroes they were on. They continue to run the Somber, but they choose to put a different player entirely on it, and that can change up the gameplay a lot. Just those change of styles can really throw a wrench into another team, and that's what we saw the Toros do right there.
Well, and for people watching at home, I know it looked like they took Yelk, you have to tell people it is so crucial, the difference between getting to that final checkpoint and using all your time and not getting there, even if it's just a couple meters away. That is a massive opportunity for this Toros team because now if they have plenty of time, if they can go the full length of the map here, they're going to win this map.
Yeah, the thing about payload is if you get that third point, you get an overtime as long as that ends up a tied game. It doesn't matter if you finish with a time bank or not, but getting that stop on the third point, not letting them get the entire map completed is huge for the Toros. I mean, they really have a winnable map here, and things were not looking so good out the gate for the Toros either. They really had to change their game defensively.
And it looks like the Toros are going to change up their game again by bringing the Winston Zarya out to play. You know they're going to be trying to maybe dive those supports. And again, you can see, man, I'm Becker on that first corner, so close. They're going to be aggressive right out of the gate. Let's see how this plays out as we are 3 seconds away from round 2 in this match.
We've got the double bubble. That's the Winston Zarya comp here for the attackers for the Toros. And this is honestly a brawl comp with a little bit of movement, but Spark just gets the better of him right here and starts to battle the frontline Sacred and getting the hack onto Joey Marie and takes out that Mercy, that crucial support player for the Toros very early. And right now, Spark is just holding the spawn door. I mean, this is Orion with a lot of confidence right now. He knows his job as the main tank is to take away space, and he takes away all the space on the map by closing in the Toros into the spawn. But he pays the price as Apollo gets the hack and finds the easy kill on the Spark. Now the defenders are on the back foot.
Oh, man, and what an impressive play. You thought he would hold it, but again, Winston still just chasing them down, and it's crazy to see them looking as he waves and says, see you later, we'll see you back at the payload. My goodness, what a Winston play there as well.
It's here, right? They're getting that value and the speed. I'll be back.
We had just a little bit of a drop there, ladies and gentlemen. We apologize. We are still back here with you, and it looks like the payload has kind of stalled as we're looking right now. Let's see how this plays out. Still back at the spawn, trying to hold there. This is pretty unexpected, if you ask me, yo.
I'm very surprised to see the Becker Hawks in on this defense, taking away all that space again after they stabilize and come all the way back out of their spawn, and they're just in the attacker spawn again. I mean, that is an incredible amount of space to take away, and it really is just Yuki coming through on this Lucio pick, controlling where the team moves. Right now, Zero jumps in on this Winston, throwing the bubble down, pops the Primal, can't get countered up immediately. Apollo trying to find the hack and make something happen there in the front line, and Zero in the back line gets 2 with the Primal Rage. Both supports, though, for the Toros go down, and that really has the attackers on the back foot once again as Dizzy falls to Spark. Right now, the attackers are making their way out of the point, but Uncivil Word goes down to 0, and that could sway things back as it's a 3 versus 3 on the cart. And with Nape demeched, it really makes it anyone's game. 0 popping the visor, fighting the kill on the Sacred End, and Apollo taking down Spark. And this first point could wrap up here as the Toros finally mounting a fairly successful attack.
Man, I tell you what, yo, I think we have to coin the phrase, make something hacking, because that sounds like, I love that, my friend. Huge EMP on point.
Unplugs everyone, the Graviton Surge comboed with an anti. Diva pops the bomb, but the EMP! Apollo pays the price as he EMPs right on top of that Diva bomb, and I think that's going to favor the attackers here as Dominguez Hills are going to lock up this first point once they're able to erase Cyberdoodle. And just like that, it is a 1-2 game with a lot of time on the clock here, Jaron.
Absolutely, and you have to be impressed with the way that the Toros have came out. They were definitely the underdog in this fight, and they have come out, and to me, this has been impressive, Yelk, so far.
Yeah, and you can see the attacking team. They're the ones with all the ultimates. They've got Valk and they've got Primal Rage to make all the space in the world for him. And Cyberdoodle is the only one for the Becker Hawks who has an ultimate. That Coalescence really not that valuable in fights like this where they can get so split out. But Zero trying to take a little too much space away from the Hawks right there. Could be paying the price as the Brawl comp starts to mash the front line. Cyberdoodle gets that Coalescence kill onto Joey Marie. Spark is anti, but drops the Shatter and drops Dizzy into a wall with the pin. Hacked by the high ground, but it's not going to be a difference maker here as it looks like the defense will stabilize once more.
Absolutely, and that was a great team fight for Becker. If you look at what they did, they were able to regroup, come around that corner, and just were able to disconnect the team. And that's a massive team fight to make the Toros have to regroup here.
Yeah, the Becker Hawks, they're starting to get the ball rolling in their direction here. This defense is really putting a lot of speed bumps in on different points of the map as well. It doesn't seem to be just a first point thing. It seems like they've got a trick up their sleeves to kind of throw the attacking team off balance, and you can see them just setting up on the high ground, dropping down with that Reaper and the Diva, choosing to pick their engagements very wisely here, and not letting the attackers take a comfortable fight. Right there, Spark getting the Fire Strike kill onto Zero, and Apollo goes down early to Cyberdoodle. Again, the attacker, Zero, doesn't have all the resources compared to Spark, and the Reinhardt battle is being won outright by Spark. The countercharge there goes through, and Apollo gets the Resurrect, making it a 5 versus 6, but Spark is still cleaving in onto Zero. Now he's got no support plugged into him, and Zero is the man who comes out on top. Now he's got the Nano Boost. He's going deeper into the backline. The EMP Death Blossom comes through, finds a triple kill. Joey Murray, the last one to go down. And right now, Becker College is really looking like they've got this Reaper comp down to perfection.
Wow, and what a play. You thought that with the Nano that it could have been Zero. It looked like as he took out Spark, he could have the advantage, but the massive EMP to the Death Blossom turns that fight the other way.
Yeah, and I think Becker maybe just isn't comboing their EMPs quite as well as Dominguez Hills, but Dominguez Hills, honestly, they're doing all sorts of things right. I mean, I'm very impressed with what their tanks are able to do and the flanks that their DPS are going on. Nate gets the Diva bomb kill onto Joey Marie to open things up. Cyberdoodle and Yuchi goes down, and now there's no support left for the Hawks. Zero is rolling in onto Nape, takes him out of the mech, and that looks like it could be the second point here for the attackers finally.
Massive shatter here. Yep, and there it is. The Reaper goes down, and that's going to be the second point. Man, the Toros, it seems like they have the momentum right now, Yep.
Yeah, and you can see with 2 minutes on the clock, I mean, this was a major speed bump for the Hawks when they were the attacking team, but now it could just be like butter here for the Toros because they do have all the momentum, like you were saying, and they've got that EMP coming up online, what a lot of players consider a free fight win because that ultimate is just so strong. Sacred End not quite on the doorstep with their EMP just yet, but I still think there's going to be time to get that one. And the Shatter comes through from Zero, but doesn't quite find anything. Graviton Surge locks up Spark, who gets that beat drop, countered by the EMP, removing all shields, and now Spark's health removed all as well. Cyberdoodle going down to Apollo simultaneously. Joey Marie falls to Uncivil Word, and the Nano slapped onto Zero, trying to make something happen. Nate gets D-necked and battered into a corner. Looks very uncomfortable as Dizzy and Zero just take all the space away once more, and it looks like the ball is still rolling here for the attackers.
Wow, I mean, Yelk, I don't know what to say. I'm blown away as it looks like Zero will have his Shatter going into this next fight. In close quarters, this could be deadly.
Definitely could be, and I'm seeing the EMP come through from Sacred End, and that could be the difference maker. The anti-nade lands onto the front line, and now they've just got to take their foot off the gas, recollect a little bit. Sacred End does get that kill onto Zero, and that will halter the attackers just a little bit. That's the speed bump we're talking about, but with the Resurrect coming through, the front line looking to make some progress. Reaper jumping in from the high ground, gets stunned out of the Death Blossom, but not before finding Zero. Nape goes down as well. The tanks are trading out. Still, though, the defenders looking very strong here. Spark is taking away a lot of this front line here, off-angling, and Sacred End on the high ground doing his best with that submachine gun off of the Somber kit.
And we're going to need to see the Mercy trying to hold point. Will probably go down here. But listen, as he does, this is going to be it. They're going to might have one more chance to win this here. Let's see if they can get back in time.
Yeah, this is final fight. We've got 3 ultimates on the board for the Toros. We're going to see them all fly. Zero is touching cart early, and the McCree goes down. Yuchi getting the boot kill onto him, but Zero still just cleaving away the front line. Has to be careful of Spark's Earth Shatter. The Graviton Surge winds up empty. Shatter comes through, comes up empty. Diva Bomb finds 2. Yuchi gets the kill onto Elemental. Apollo and Dizzy go down, and this looks like the defenders are going to be successful as Becker gets the win here on Dorado.
Wow, what an end to that match. Not the way I thought it was going to go. Before we get into talk about the next map, let's look at this play of the game, as it looks like it's going to be Apollo.
Oh, we know what this is, Jaron. I mean, it's no question at all. This is third point cowboy action here, popping the high noon with the EMP combo, and just erases 5 members And I mean, that is about as clean as you can get as a hit scan player. He's, I'm sure, smiling ear to ear after that one.
You know what they said? It's hard to be a cowboy, baby. What a play. My goodness. And so, but I'll tell you what, I am blown away by the way that the Toros came into this match. Obviously, they come in 1-4 on the season. You didn't, on paper, you wouldn't give them much of a chance against this Becker team, but they played out of their mind. I thought that was extremely impressive and a very close game.
Yeah, well, like we said about this Champions Division is, you know, all of these teams who are in this division for a reason. They can hack it at a high level of play. And we saw the Toros just hanging in there the entire time, really kind of upsetting the attacks of the Becker Hawks time and time again, throwing speed bumps in there, using their ultimates very well. But at the end of the day, Becker Hawks just kind of were the more consistent team through the 3 points. And even though they didn't quite lock down the third point, they were able to hold it when it mattered there on third point of Dorado. So I'm looking to see every map go just about that way in this one.
And speaking of another maps, we are going to go to the high country. One of my favorite maps. I love this place. We're headed to Eichenwald and Yelk, not just the normal Eichenwald. It is that brand new patch, that Halloween version, nighttime. Things might get a little spooky, but we're going to have some high-paced action here up in the high country at Eichenwald.
Yeah, we're going to the spooky German map, and honestly, this castle is spooky enough because on this second point, it is just a nightmare when those gates open up after you cap first point, if you're even successful in that, because first point is no easy task. But right when you capture first point, the defenders get a huge advantage on this map. They get a literal castle to defend. I mean, there's not much more you can say about that. It is just a defender's heaven. And honestly, you can see all sorts of comps from dive to brawl, pharmacies, and snipers. Really, just the world's your oyster here as a defending team.
Absolutely. And if you don't get a Lucio boop off the bridge, did you even play Overwatch? Let's see what the comp, we're about 10 seconds away from seeing what our comps are going to be. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to remind you, you can follow us online on social media at NECC Games. Again, that's NECC Games on Twitter and Instagram for updates, giveaways, and all kinds of information. And for the Toros, looks like they're going to come out with the Rhine Diva setup, the Junkrat, the Sombra. I mean, it's going to be impressive. They're going to look to get in there and kind of fight. That's a crazy setup to me. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's not quite the Reaper rushdown that you're going to see from the Becker Hawks, who are the attacking team this round. But honestly, the Junkrat provides a lot of spam, and that's the kind of speed bump we're talking about. I'm going to use that phrase a lot, speed bump, because really just all you're trying to do when you defend is whittle time down off the clock, and the entire map is a road, and you just got to find these spots where you can just inject those speed bumps in, and Junkrat, with all of that burst damage that he provides, really can slow teams down if they don't find a way to deal with it early.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it gets spooky in the NECC Week 5. Let's get it going.
Really hack, as it looks like a spawn kill attempt coming in from Zero on the Sombra pick. Farms up a little bit of that EMP, already a fifth of the way there, so a very important ultimate race to win. Right now, Spark is just shielding his team into Blue Room right now, and Zero goes in with a pin! You never see Rhymes with this kind of aggression. He is just making all of the space right now. And I don't know, man, looks like Becker is kind of struggling as they rotate around to this high ground. They're kind of struggling to figure out how to get in on this first point Eichenwald. Like we were saying, this is not a very friendly point for attackers.
And one of their supports goes down.
No.
Oh, no!
Oh, no!
Turn the jets off, my man. Where are you going?
Oh man, Zero forgets that hero does not have wings, and he winds up right off of the cliff. But honestly, a pretty impressive showing here on the first point by Zero, and he's going to be coming back very close to that Earth Shatter, so he can be an immediate difference maker when he gets back in the mix here. But right now, Spark shielding his team in, the Coalescence gets popped, and now the front line is just running the playground offense as they are battering into Zero, who is back from the spawn. Joey Marie goes down to Cyberdoodle's Coalescence, Apollo falls to Uncivil World, but the Shatter from Zero finds at least one, make it two as Nape gets denecked, but Spark is the one who's taking the advantage here, going right into the tavern, just trying to do as much as he can with those hammer swings.
And you have to feel bad for Zero there because he had a massive shatter, massive pin, took out, it looked like two, and just didn't have people back with the picks from the other side. That's tough as the payload will start moving as Becker is in control.
And this is when you capture first point and look up. There it is. There's the castle. If the defenders can set up on that, it is going to be incredibly tough for the attackers to take away that space, because these heroes that they're on right now, like Zero on this Reinhardt pick, Joey Marie on this Moira, I mean, there's a lot of heroes in this lobby that just cannot access the top of that castle quickly, except for maybe the Diva players and the Sombras. But other than that, really, it's just a tall task to get up here. And you can see that the Hawks are just going up here early. They're beating the defenders here because they know how valuable this ground is. And Zero gets just headshot by Yuchi right there. The Riptire will come through from Apollo on this Junkrat, trying to find some valuable picks, closing the distance onto Spark, getting the kill onto the main tank. But Apollo will go down in the spawn to Uncivil World, who tracks him down. A Metal getting the kill onto Sacred End, and right now the defenders, they've stabilized, but still this attacking team can come back incredibly quickly.
And you got to be impressed with that Tire, able to pick that Reinhardt. Did slow them down, even though you might not have went exactly the way you wanted it to go. It definitely slowed that push down for them for sure.
And this is going to be an EMP fight as Zero and Sacred End both have them. And it looks like the first one will fly from Sacred End. Uncivil World going deep into the back line here, letting that Death Blossom fly. The Diva Bomb comes out to just try and buy some time, but it's unsuccessful. Apollo, the only one with a kill from the Toros, as he's able to find Uncivil World, but it's going to be a reset here for the defenders, as they'll have to come out of spawn and recontest on the bridge.
And it looks like for the Toros, if you see the Toros right now, is there anything that they could do differently?
Honestly, they didn't really take that high ground on the castle as much as I would have liked them to, but here on the bridge, it's really anyone's game. I think they've got a great comp for it, and I think that last fight was really just Sacred End using that EMP first, but now Zero's got his in the bank. The Diva Bomb comes through, comboed with the pin, Spark getting the charge kill onto Zero, opening up some space here for Becker, but Spark gets a little too aggressive there, and he goes down to Dizzy. The EMP comes through after 2 kills have already been confirmed, and now it's 3 simultaneously falling, as it looks like the Toros are finally able to do the dirty work on defense, and they get the job done, Jaron.
And how about the Diva mech as it flies over, says see you later, flies off the side of the bridge, and what a turnaround. That is, you had to have that for the Toros. Big play.
Yeah, really taking the wind out of the sails for the Becker Hawks right here. And you get Zero on the Soldier pick now, which is a much better hero to contest these high grounds. But it looks like the Becker Hawks, they are just so familiar with how valuable high ground is in this game. And they bring all of their tanks up there. Reinhardt and Moira have no business being up there, but they take that space anyway just so they can solidify it for their team. And now they've closed in on the bridge. Shatter comes through from Zero, but it's blocked by Spark, who has just lightning quick reaction time. Riptire gets ripped from Apollo, closing its way to the front line. Zero gets the pick onto Sacred End. Yuki goes down to Apollo's Riptire, and the Reinhardts countercharge each other, but Spark comes out the victor as Uncivil World finds the kill onto Zero. Diva Bomb coming through, coming up empty, and now still it is really anyone's game here, but it looks like one by one Becker will be going down as I'm speaking. And again, the defense has clearly turned things around here, Jaron.
Well, and so many, how many environmental kills have we seen on this bridge? It's really went the Toros' way. They've pushed people off, and it's saved a bunch of points.
It sure has, and honestly a big difference maker has been Zero swapping over from the Sombra to this Soldier pick. Soldier, he's got that sprint ability, so he can really just rotate around the enemy team as quickly as he pleases and take all the high grounds in the world and be a very hard hero to contest, because he also has a healing ability, so he's a very self-sufficient DPS hero. Right now we're seeing this far rotation coming out from the Hawks, and they lose their Sombra in the midst of it. The Shatter Slam combo comes through, and the beat drop counter keeps the attackers alive, at least just for now, but Spark ends up going off the bridge. You hate to see it. Apollo and Zero go down, and a lot of these kills for the Hawks are really making it a tradable game, but it looks like a couple of suicides come through as Nape unfortunately falls off the map as well. That one looked winnable, Jaron.
It did, and again, the Mora just drops off to try to reset, but my goodness. And I hated to see Zero on the Soldier. It got taken out by the Lucio up top, but it looks like the Toros needing to heal here, but they still have control of this payload.
Yeah, and you can see the attackers are almost back in already. They're really good at just collecting themselves as a group out of spawn. I'm sure we've talked about that a lot during streams. Uncivil World closing the distance here on the Reaper, trying to get the Death Blossom to fly. The EMP comes through for the engage. The Diva Bomb could come up big, but Nave unable to find anything there. Death Blossom coming through into the back line right now, coming up empty, but does get the kill onto Apollo. Members of the Toros going down one by one. as it looks like the Hawks finally able to lock up this second point. Not an easy feat to get across the Eichenwald Bridge.
No, not. And the Toros stood tall and really, really pushed there. So I'm impressed. I mean, you hate to see it. You'd love to see them be able to hold there, but let's see how it goes if we go inside. And, man, let's see how this plays out.
This is when the map completely changes its geometry, too. I mean, that castle is gone. You are indoors now, and these are tight hallways. This is where Reinhardt's shine. Usually, they're very counterable with those high grounds that heroes like Zero are able to just take full advantage of and make it a nightmare for the other main tank. But, I mean, these tight corridors are just a Reinhardt's heaven. This is where all the main tanks test their mettle. So I'm looking to see Spark and Zero clash in the front lines here, but Uncivil World going down early as the attackers on the back foot. They're looking to get a full retreat and just recollect here. Not trying to play with their food at all. They're just going to get the go next.
Oh my goodness, sometimes you can't have your cake and eat it too. They got a little aggressive. They popped in there and some massive Junkrat play as well. Let's not understate how Apollo is playing right now.
Yeah, Apollo's been great. It's been Zero controlling the high ground and then Apollo just applying that pressure onto the front line, making sure he's breaking all sorts of shields. Sacred and also on the Junkrat coming through with the Riptire, but it's countered by the shield of the Toro's main tank. Now Zero's going deep. The Diva Bomb comes through, so does the Riptire, and this could just be an absolute mayhem here as Apollo goes down, but gets the kill onto Yuki with that Riptire. Nape is de-necked by Dizzy. The Diva's trying to trade out right there, and Spark with a big slam finds at least two. Dizzy's naded, won't survive it, and now can he get the kill onto Joey Marie? No, not quite. Now Spark is struggling for answers. He's the only one left alive, and he will end up going down. Overtime beginning to bleed away. The Lucio, the last contest, but Yuki gets blown up immediately by Apollo, and this is where the cart will stay parked right on the second point, just after the end of it.
And, I mean, Yelk, my goodness, just like we saw in the first map, how about California State, Dominguez Hills? They're able to stop them short of reaching the entire timeline. I mean, it's impressive.
Yeah, it really is, and like we were saying on that last map, Dorado, too, that matters so much to get that full stop, especially on the game mode that this is, which is hybrid. It's not quite the same as payload. This first point is objective based. It's not just a cart that has to move. You do have to get some capture progress, take 3 ticks, and make sure you lock down this first objective. So if you get overtime attempt here, then you get another chance to attack this first point. But with that full hold coming in on that third point, it really makes it a lot to ask for the attackers here, as they know that they've done their job on defense. Now they just have to follow through and get all 3 points on this attack.
Well, and it looks like for the Toros, Zero, who has done a lot of switching tonight, looks like he's going to bring May out. I love seeing good wall placement where they're able to really disconnect teams and really can do a lot of damage and really wall some people off.
Yeah, I mean, that May is a frontline oppressor of a DPS, doesn't have the most burst damage in the world, but that wall ability that she has and her ultimate Blizzard that just freezes people in place, that provides a lot of frontline value that a lot of DPS players don't have in their kits, but May has a very unique kit as a hero where she's allowed to just apply so much pressure for her main tank. Spark is going down incredibly early here as Dizzy falls as well to Uncivil World, and right now, you really don't see a lot of fights happen in the spawn of Eichenwald like this. The defenders quickly retreating without their main tank, and they've got to stabilize here as they're just really on the back foot, speeding back as quick as they can to the point, trying to get out alive, but Yuki and Uncivil World go down, and this is a very successful attack for the Toros. I think that the Hawks were just trying to get a little too cocky here and just take as much space away as they could, but it's going to end up being the Toros with a near 6-minute time bank going into second point.
Well, and you know what, Yelk, that's the second time we've seen them camp outside the spawn door when they switch sides, and it just doesn't go their way that time, as some massive play by that Mora as well to help push forward.
Yeah, and you can see that the attackers and the defenders are just battling in on this high ground. We've talked about this so much, and Obi-Wan said it best, you have to control the high ground. There's nothing more valuable than the high ground, and Spark ends up getting the kill early as he's able to de-neck that Diva, and now it looks like the defenders just are able to rein it in from this high ground, but the Riptire from behind finds a double kill, and no supports are left for Becker at this point, and it looks like the Toros are really able to just build a lot off of that Riptire, and Zero's moving the cart full clip ahead.
Oof, my goodness, what a play. And explain to people again, that Junkrat play right there was massive.
Yeah, it absolutely was. He was in on the flank all alone and just really an individual playmaker. No one else helped him out with that play. There was no supporting cast there. It was just all Apollo getting the job done there. And the shatter comes through, but it's just out of range. Counter shatter finds 3 on their backs. Zero's got the ball rolling as Unserver World goes down. And the defenders are really just taking it to the Hawks right now. And this is a completely different Toros team that we've seen before.
My goodness, if you play with the bull, you get the horn. Zero charging forward. This is impressive. I don't think we could have seen this go this way.
And like we were saying previously, Jaron, they don't have to get this whole third point. They've got 5 minutes, 45 seconds on the clock right now, and all they've got to get is 34 meters of car progress. You can see that yellow rectangle highlighting where the finish line on this map will be for the attackers, and the defenders will have to defend this staircase. This is an uncomfortable spot to stand. The May walling off Spark early, you can just tell, makes him uncomfortable. He's hard shielding about as much as he can right now, and he's got to be careful about that resource as Zero is looking to just line up some damage. The slam comes through. Zero gets pinned into the right side room where the Mega is. Eva Bomb flies over the top, coming up empty, and the Blossom coming in onto the back line, doing as much cleave damage as it can. Spark still rolling in with these hammer swings, trying to demech the Diva. Eventually does find the kill onto Dizzy, but not without NECC going down as well. Zero getting cleaned up on that May pick as well. The defenders still looking a little bit strong here. The cart not quite moving, but the attackers are back in full force. They've got their main tank. He's got a full shield and 2 supports. Dizzy's back in the mech. Tire comes through. Can it find Spark? It certainly will. That could be the icer here, as it looks like Toros are just trying to finish this one out. They've almost got the cart where it needs to be. Just a few more P meters left. Zero is holding down this front line, not letting anyone get in. Shatters Nape and pins him up against the wall, taking him out of the equation. 1.5 meters left here. The beat drop coming through to bolster the attackers up. And Unserver World and Spark are the last to go down. And this is now a 1-1 game, Jaron.
Man, I don't think I'm stopping myself from screaming because holy moly, do we have an Overwatch match? And it's the Lucio on the bridge, I bet, with this play. Let's see it.
But yeah, just going up and attacking the soldier here. You really never see Lucios get after hit scan DPS players like that. And then getting the environmental kill onto the main tank is a huge play, a massive swing of momentum, and just a complete turnaround here for Dominguez Hills.
Well, I mean, and how about, wow. I don't want to get ahead of myself because if I get too excited, I'm going to ramble, because first of all, my blood pressure is at an all-time high right now because we came into this match. Again, on paper, we've talked about how the competition is so intense here. On paper, this is not how you think this map would go. And right now, as we're getting ready to go to Ilios, this is insane.
Yeah, Dominguez Hills coming into this game 1-4 and just showing no signs of it. Obviously, they lost that first map. Could have been a warm-up map, but you kind of expect the 1-4 team to end up with that first map loss as the outcome. But coming back second map and then getting second point with 5 minutes in the bank and then rolling through third. I mean, this is not the CSUDH team I was expecting to see. And frankly, it's the one that I'm very happy to see tonight.
I am beyond excited as of now. As we go to the spot by the sea, we're going to Ilios and we're going to change game modes, so it's going to be crucial to watch that and see how that plays out. But I'm telling you what, right now, if the Toros can pull this off, this might be my vote right now for the upset of the year.
Yeah, I mean, certainly. I think on Control, I think that Reaper Sombra comp that we're seeing Becker run is a little bit stronger on this next game mode than a May pick might be. But honestly, with how they just played, I think CSUDH, they can work that May. I mean, they've clearly got some tricks up their sleeve that Becker is not quite ready to deal with. So if they just keep applying that pressure the way they did on Eichenwald, I think, honestly, they could end up taking Ilios and getting that upset you were talking about.
Absolutely. And some scores from around the league. Of course, we saw in the first match, sorry, excuse me, I apologize. NECC, Northern Essex Community College, beat Howard Community College 3-0 in an impressive match. And Champlain scored just in. Champlain tops St. Ambrose University 3-0. So a lot of 3-0s tonight, but not here in our featured match of the evening. As it's 1-1. We're going to map 3. And we have a short break in the action, ladies and gentlemen, but we're going to be moving forward. And like you said, the combinations might favor Becker in this last map, but how do you think you see this playing out?
Yeah, I think it's going to be no surprises from Becker and CSUDH. I mean, the Toros, they're going to be the ones who really just kind of get to run any trick they want, because it seems like Becker is running this meta comp where they know that they're very good at Reaper Sombra. They can just build team fights off of those ultimate and cooldown combos they've got in that composition. And CSUDH, honestly, they seem like they're running the playground offense, and it works to great effect for them. You really don't see May come out too much, especially on a high ground map like Eichenwald, and it just worked absolute wonders for them. So I think going against the grain, not picking hard meta like Becker is actually paying off in spades for them here, as they're really able to surprise the Hawks with their attacking game plan.
Well, and we have, with this time in the action, Becker, correct me if I'm wrong, Becker College calls the timeout here. They're able to do that in our rule set. They drop that second map. I mean, this is going to be, right now, if you're the Toros, this game right here can turn your season around. The playoffs just a few weeks away. I mean, this game right here, I don't think we can understate how big of a match this is for the Toros here as they move forward.
Yeah, that playoff picture, Jaron, it's not set in stone, and CSUDH, they're a little bit on the back burner, but they're not out of it yet. And a win right here against one of the top teams in their division, in the Champions Division, I mean, this could really build so much momentum for them going forward in weeks to come. They could take this win and just have it under the belt for any tough opponent that they go against and be like, hey, we've already done this. We've already played teams that are on paper way better than us, and we've proven that we have tricks that they're not ready for. We're not running hard meta, and a lot of teams, they scrim every single day for a lot of these college varsity programs, and they're scrimming against these hard meta comps, so they get very good against playing those hard meta comps. And when you see a May or something that's just not the most effective tactic available coming at you, you can be scratching your head sometimes, and I think that's what we're seeing Becker do right now.
Absolutely. Forgive me for chuckling, but in-game chat is one of my favorite things on the planet. Guys, don't forget that we have 5 days a week. You can catch collegiate esports action right here live at the, yeah, that's pretty funny. There are 5 days a week. You can catch collegiate esports action right here at the NECC. We are getting ready to go in this next match, but remember, we have Madden on Mondays. Tuesday night, we have Valorant. Of course, you're here with us tonight on Overwatch Wednesdays, but tomorrow, Ethan Dolan will come in with League of Legends. It's going to be a fantastic night. And, of course, you never know. You might see my buddy Yelkrip on a Friday night live as we go into Rocket League on Friday nights. And as we get ready to go to Ilios, I love this map. I think that it is beautiful. Best of 3 series, 1-1 going into this final map. And with the game mode changes, as it looks like we're going to the pit. I just call it the pit. Explain to people about this new game mode that we haven't seen so far.
Well, depending on what hero you're playing, this certainly could be a pit of despair, as this Ilios well has a massive, what looks like a Spartan well in the heart of it. And you have to control the point around this well. Not every control point has a well like this or just an absolute death pit, but this one does. And the entire objective is basically where the grass is growing in this little courtyard here. And it's very hard to take the space around it because there is nowhere to hide here. You have to control this for 100 full seconds. That's the way the percent system in this game mode works. Every second you hold the objective, you get 1% uptick on your score. So it's going to take usually a team wipe for the objective to flip one way or the other, which usually, encompasses a lot of ultimates in a fight to get that full wipe. But honestly, it looks like we're going to be seeing a dive comp coming out here from both teams. So it's not something we've seen so far, and I'm pretty excited to see this as 0 on the Genji now.
Man, and the fact that we do not see a Roadhog blows my mind, yo. Let's see how this plays out.
Yeah, the thing about these dive tanks is they can jump out of the well if they get, unfortunately, boofed into it somehow, but Right now, you see Zero just cleaving away in on this front line and then using his jump ability to close the distance once more once he gets pooped away from that back line. But he ends up going down to Sacred End, but not too little too late as his team is able to find 2 kills in the meantime. You can see the team's just trying to hold this little, not quite pavilion, but this little what I like to call cage here on the side. It's about the only spot on the map where you can take cover near the objective. And Uncivil World will be the last one to go down in there as Zero finds the melee kill onto him. And I think Zero on this Genji pick could pay off very well on this map.
It looks like it so far as they all the way back to spawn, as the control of the point is on the Toro side. Let's see here.
Yeah, I'm looking to see Zero's Dragon Blade coming up too. He almost has it charged, which is an incredibly quick charge time. So if he can just start carving up the backline, he ends up getting the kill onto Sacred End right there, which is huge, building a lot of attacks and momentum for the defenders. And now he's just carving up the backline. He finds Spark, slices down Uncivil World, and now he's closing in onto Nape, getting him before he can fall off the map, and makes it back on safely. So a great play right there from the Genji, who's just playing this hero to perfection.
I tell you what, I don't know what a play of the game looks like out from the beginning, but that right there has got to be in contention.
Yeah, that's definitely a candidate right there, finding a triple kill. Not quite all alone, had a bit of a supporting cast there, but clearly just the first person to win the race to his ultimate, and it paid off greatly for Zero right there. Now the Diva is closing in as the nano-boosted Winston jumps in on the Graviton Surge. It's going to take out Nape. Can it also erase Spark? No, he gets out just in the nick of time, almost has his Primal Rage. Zero primaling 3 members of Becker into the corner. Gets the kill onto Nape, Spark, and Sacred End going down as well. Zero not able to make it out alive, but able to do the job. As it looks like another successful defense here from the Toros. And this is a totally different team than we saw in Dorado, Jaron.
I mean, this is unbelievable. They have come out with it, and this again, this Genji switch by Zero has been massive to this game.
He's almost got that Dragon Blade again. Apollo has that EMP, which could just shut the door here on the attackers. The Winston jumps in, Zero just closing distance with the bubble, using his tank cooldowns to take as much damage away from him as possible.
EMP!
Now the EMP comes through Sacred and getting the Pulse Bomb kill onto Zero, and a Death Blossom in the backline erases the backline for the Toros as they will have to reset, and the point is flipped here. But now it's going to be the Becker Hawks with their back against the wall as the Toros were successful in capturing 99% of that objective.
I mean, look, I have what I'm watching. You talk about in the nick of time. They almost didn't make it through there. We were about to see a round 1 win with 99 on the clock, and this is impressive. You can see this Lucio.
Oh man, this is sneaky. He camps that translocator, maybe waits for the audio cue of the Sombra to start shooting so he can catch her unawares. But Yuki eventually goes in to peel for his own backline. The Diva Bomb comes through, and it will find a metal. Zero goes down as well, and the attackers will have to get a quick reset here. No skin off their backs, 35%. They've still got over a minute to get back in the mix here and get this point back in their favor.
Well, and if you're the Toros, you have to be upset right now, but you have to keep it together because you took this all the way to 99 to 0. So let's see how it plays out. Is Zero picked again?
Yeah, he was just a little in the backline right there. Not quite overextended, but just not quite killed from the previous fight. We call that a stagger in the Overwatch world, as he just kind of goes down late. But it's not really anything he did wrong right there, just wasn't cleaned up in the previous fight. So it does take some time off the clock for the Toros as they're making their way back in right now. Coalescence getting popped from Cyberdoodle, making a lot of space for his own front line. Winston jumping into the back, getting the melee kill onto Dizzy. Zero going down to Nape, and Spark finding a second kill onto a metal. This is a lot of great defense here from the Hawks as they're turning this round on its head, but I'm seeing a lot of ultimates come online for the Toros, and honestly, this Nano Blade could be gigantic, as Zero has shown he can do it with the Butter Blade, so coming through with a damage boost on this next one could be gigantic. Oh no.
No.
Zero just went in the well. I hope you saw that too.
Oh.
Second Blade comes through, finds a double kill. Joey Marie goes down, making a third. He gets the kill onto Yuki, and now he's on the point, trying to take down this pesky Tracer, but battered by the Winston, and Spark finds a double kill right at the buzzer. And this first round has been locked up by the Hawks.
Wow. And oh my goodness. I mean, let's be honest about what just happened. Yelk, a major mistake by Zero as he falls in the hole with the 5-piece and some chicken gravy on the side on the Genji Nano Blade. If that Winston is alive, we're sitting here with a Toros 1-0 lead.
Yeah, I grew up a lot, Jaron, playing chess, and that is what's known as a late game blunder. That's you just moving the queen into an unprotected spot and just getting caught off guard as he just ends up going into that pit of despair like you were talking so much about. And really, there is no time like overtime for that to be a pit of despair.
Oh, and you want to have that back for sure. But you know that you held them well. You know you were able to do some things. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. If Becker College wins this point, this match is over. The Toros trying to keep it alive as they jump right down the point with the Roadhog and the Orisa play now in play.
Yeah, I mean, this is a point not any like well. There's a lot of cover you can take on this point. A metal goes down first to Uncivil World. That is gigantic as Spark finding the kill onto Zero, and Dizzy gets erased as well. No frontline presence left for the Toros, and a very swift first capture for the Becker Hawks.
And they go ahead and change. They go right back to that Ryan Zarya after getting those early picks against them. I don't know if that was maybe something they planned out, but it did not work in their favor.
No, that Roadhog Orisa comp honestly just has to backpedal when it runs into a Ryan. And that's kind of what you saw right there. They had no room to run and no shield. The Orisa left to play with. The Shatter comes through early as the double kill gets found by the Hawks. Make it 5 quick members before the Toros go down as Spark is just trying to collect his resources here in this corner. Playing a little scared, but still with all the confidence in the world at the same time.
Wow. And right now, the momentum has swung the Hawks' way. But again, we saw this in the last match. This far, Yelk, I mean far from over.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, that little tank composition mix-up that they had on that Orisa pick kind of lost them some time here. Yuki goes in and finds the kill onto Dizzy. Right now, it is the Toros being very split and getting pieced apart by the Becker Hawks as they're able to find kill after kill. And it looks like the Toros are just struggling to collect themselves here and get a good stabilized attack going, and they keep kind of getting split off from each other, and it just leaves a couple of weak links to be found. But now they're looking to collect themselves as they almost get that C9 flip, that back cap. That Cloud9 is what we like to call it here in Overwatch, where they almost just get that sneak capture, but unsuccessful, just barely.
And again, I don't understand for the Toros. They have not all match. They have not been extended like this and separated. So you'd like to see them regroup, come back together, and try to just win one of these team fights.
Yeah, it looks kind of just like a pathing issue. Right now, they've just got it right in the wheelhouse. Everyone's going the same way here. Zero's the first one to go down to a fire strike, and the Diva Bomb comes up empty. Apollo trying to burst down Spark on this Reinhardt, but Dizzy getting taken out by that Diva Bomb is gigantic. Right now, Joey Marie trying to make something happen here with the Coalescence. Apollo going down to Sacred End, and the Death Blossom here as overtime bleeds away. We'll find a medal, and that could be the last one to go. Wrecking Ball and Somber getting the last second touch in, but it could be too little, too late. As Zero falls to Spark, the Reinhardt shuts the door. Wrecking Ball slams, overtime bleeds away, and just like that, the Becker Hawks are your victors.
Wow, and what a dominant performance. And before we get into it, we're going to talk about this post-game, but let's watch this play of the game.
Take her down on the Tracer. Very mechanical hero. Probably a pretty flashy play of the game coming in. Gets the stick right onto the Genji, doing a double jump, and then closes in on this Ana. Civil World helping out with that Reaper Death Blossom, getting a double kill of his own during that play, but, you know, they answered the call. The Becker Hawks, they had to get that map win right there. They didn't do themselves any favors on Eichenwald, but on Ilios, they just proved that they were the stronger team today.
And Yelk, I am disappointed is not the right word, but I definitely feel a little bit bad for the Toros because they came into this as the underdog. And they had it written like a Hollywood movie script. This thing was going to flip and go their way. And you have to think that that mistake by the Winston diving in, it affected them going into that final round.
I don't actually know if it was quite a mistake. He didn't just alley-oop himself into that well. It looked like in the kill feed, the Diva was flying through and just nicked him on the side. And that just booped him a couple feet. And that's what ended up sending him into the well. So I'm not quite sure if it was a mistake or if it was a very good play by the enemy Diva.
Either way, I mean, it's just so brutal that right now this could be a completely different way. And that is competitive Overwatch, a game of inches or meters, however you want to call it, but a game so close. And man, we had a heck of a match tonight. Yeah,
we sure did. I was really impressed with that one, especially seeing the script flip on Eichenwald. I was not expecting CSUDH to come out with the Eichenwald map that they gave us, and that was honestly the most impressive Eichenwald map I've seen all season. To see a May involved in the attack as well made it that much more sweeter for me to watch.
Absolutely. They changed up their comp. I could hear us in the beginning, not sure why they would make the switch, but it worked to their advantage. Again, they do fall a little short, but California State University, Dominguez Hills. I mean, honestly, Yelk, if you're me, I think you at least have something to build on here as you go forward in this season.
Yeah, definitely. Like we said, that playoff picture is not set in stone. And I think, again, CSUDH is one of those teams that they might not have the win-loss record to show for it, but I think in every game that they've played, they haven't been one of these teams that's getting swept 3-0. When you were reading off those scores, you said there were a lot of 3-0 sweeps. I don't think that the Toros are that team that gets swept. I think they put up a good contest in every game, and maybe they're just getting the short end of the stick on a couple of these third points, but you know, they seem like a team that's really got it together, has a lot of good compositions that they can run, but Becker today was just consistent through 3 maps, and they came to play on Ilios for sure.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, one last time tonight, we want to say thank you to our partners. Thank you to our friends at Helix Esports for all that they do behind the scenes. Of course, we have an exciting announcement coming with them very, very soon. And if you're watching this on ESTV, our linear TV partner, now available on Samsung TV Plus, the Roku channel. If you want to get on your Roku, go to the Roku channel, slide down, esports action right at your fingertips, and plenty of ways to get to it. Again, ESTV, the official linear TV partner of the NECC. That's a lot of acronyms, by the way. I'm just saying. Anyways, big thank you to our friends at HyperX. Some of the best gear in gaming now comes to the NECC. And wow, Yelk, thank you for being here with me tonight, man. We had a heck of a match.
Yeah, Jaron, always a pleasure. I mean, I was very glad I got to cast this game. I watched the game previously between Howard, but honestly, this one was the absolute barn burner I was looking for. Going the distance on Ilios and that turnaround on Eichenwald, man, I'm not going to forget it for a while. That was a great showing from CSUDH.
Absolutely, 100%. Ladies and gentlemen, for our commissioner, Jacob Van Ryan, we appreciate him for all that he allows us to do. And of course, our director of esports and our executive producer tonight, Caleb Glooby, behind the scenes, always making things happen. Again, Yelk, I can't say it enough, man, but I love having you here. And it's an exciting time to be a part of the NECC.
Yeah, man. I mean, I can't wait till playoffs get going and we really start cranking up these streams. It's going to be a blast.
Oh, man, it's going to be a good time. Guys, until next time, for Yelkreb, make sure you go check him out on stream. You can check it at, that's his name. First of all, it's Alt Charge online, but can we just talk about how cool of a name Berkeley is? I was born Jaron. Berkeley's a lot more cool than Jaron. I'm just saying. But anyways, off topic, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. We have hit our goals. We are beyond ecstatic and beyond grateful for the amount of support that you have shown us in just a few weeks. And one thing I can say for myself, the entire NECC team, we are just getting started. And we have so many more things that we are going to bring to you guys. So until next time, come see Ethan Dolan tomorrow night right here live for some League of Legends actions. But until then, my name is Jaron Bell for the entire NECC team. We thank you so much for being here. Stay beautiful, stay blessed, GGs, and we are the NECC. We'll see you guys next time.
See you guys.